Fallujah, and so many more. Through the years, the Marines have been called a lot of names, some of which we can't repeat on the air right now, but some we can. Names like Devil Dogs, Gyrenes, and yes, even Jarheads. Semper Fi, Leathernecks. Jason Walker reporting.
In another provocative move toward Taiwan, Communist China is staging military exercises near the self-governing island. Those drills come at a time when a U.S. congressional delegation is visiting Taiwan. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today's KSVIPs, the Artesia High School faculty and staff. The Artesia High School administration would like to thank you for all of your hard work and the dedication that you show in and out of the classroom. Thank you, and we appreciate you. Today, we're going to bring a flower that you can all share to the Artesia High School from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIPs, the faculty and staff at Artesia High School.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so white and nerdy. Just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters. But so far they all think I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Really, really white and nerdy.
My class there at MIT. Got skills, I'm a champion of D&D. MC Escher, that's my favorite MC. Keep your 40 out, just have...
Hey, good morning, and welcome once again to the Good Morning Artesia radio show with pictures. As we get rolling on to Wednesday, it is the 10th day of November. And here we are getting ready to have an exciting day today. Veterans Day is tomorrow, and we're going to be broadcasting the Veterans Day ceremony that will be at Beige Veterans Park in front of City Hall tomorrow. So that'll be good for us to get out there for you. That's tomorrow. Friday and Saturday, the Lady Bulldogs are going to Rio Rancho for the state volleyball tournament, or for the next round of the state volleyball tournament, I guess I should say. But it was not easy. St. Pius came to town and took the Lady Bulldogs to 5 sets. And then, even then, it was tied, I think, at 15 or 14 in the fifth set. Most of the time, you have to get to 25, and you have to win by 2 points. And then if you get to a fifth set, it's 15. And again, you have to win by 2. And it was a pretty exciting finish to that match last night. So Artesia advances, and we'll get to play Goddard on Friday. So we'll have radio coverage of that on Friday here on KSVP. We've got high school football this weekend. Goddard and Roswell in the rematch at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, New Mexico. The two teams met 2 weeks ago, and Roswell beat Goddard. Roswell became the district champ and got the number 3 seed in the football playoffs. Goddard got a 6 seed and had to play a round of 12 game, which they won. And now they get to face crosstown rival, the Coyotes, again. And this will be at the Wool Bowl Friday night, 7 o'clock. We'll have radio and TV coverage of that for you. And then on Saturday, the Bulldogs, looking like they were going to get a 4 seed going into the playoffs. They got the 4 seed going into the playoffs, and they host Mayfield. And I saw Mr. Mike Phipps at the football or at the volleyball game last night, and I asked him. I said, "Were you coach when the Bulldogs last played Mayfield?" I think they've played each other one time in history, and it wasn't a playoff game. It was a regular season game because they've always been in a higher classification until this year. And Mr. Phipps said, "Yeah, we played them and we whooped them." And he said what apparently happened that year is Mayfield took Artesia lightly. He said there was stuff in the paper out of Las Cruces that indicated that Mayfield was going to the Hicks, going to the country to take on the Hicks, those Hicks from the country of Artesia. And Artesia whooped him. So it was pretty good bulletin board material at the time. Nowadays it's social media crap. But so, yeah, there was one prior meeting of these two teams, but not in the playoffs. And according to Mike Phipps, who was the coach, or a coach at the time, we whooped them pretty good. But we'll see what happens this time around. But that'll be Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Bulldog Bowl. Weather should be great. Want you to come out to the game. Figure out the technology so you can come to the game. And if not, we will have radio and TV coverage of that game for you Saturday. Lady Bulldogs, should they advance to a semifinal game and a championship game on Saturday in the volleyball tournament, we'll have that on the radio. Joby is doing the radio for us for either Roswell or Goddard or both on Friday. And Kelly McDonald is doing our radio on Saturday from the volleyball tournament. Obviously, Kelly is going to be at the Wool Bowl Friday night doing the Roswell High game with Art Sandoval. And Joby is going to be here on Saturday doing the football game with Robbie and the crew. So Joby's doing the Friday volleyball games, whether it's Artesia or Goddard or both. And Kelly will be doing the Saturday volleyball games, whether it's Goddard or Artesia, or whatever it turns out to be. So we've got it covered. If you want to listen to it on the radio, the volleyball, because from here on out we're done with being able to do video from the volleyball tournament, and we are doing the video from the football games this weekend, and we'll do them next weekend if they'll let us. But if it gets to the championship game Thanksgiving weekend, that you will require the NFHS subscription in order to watch those games. Seemed like most people came walking in with their cell phones last night, and they were able to get checked in. I was talking with Coach Henderson briefly last night. If you've got you need any kind of help in getting your ticket for the football game on Friday, just need any kind of help, go to the Pit ticket office, the ticket office at the Pit, this afternoon 1 to 4, tomorrow 1 to 4, Friday 1 to 4, and they have folks there that will help you get the app on your phone if you have an iPhone, get to the website if you have an Android phone, and they'll help walk you through the process to buy your tickets for the game on Saturday at the Bulldog Bowl. So if you've got any questions about how the the digital ticketing process works and you need help, bring your phone with you and come to the pit office, the ticket office at the pit this afternoon and have that help to get that done. Let's see. Will we broadcast the NMMI Bronco Junior College game on Saturday? Yes. It'll be on the TV channel only. Won't be on radio. As we've got Bulldog football and we've got Eastern Greyhound football on the radio Saturday. But we will be broadcasting the NMMI Bronco game. They've got a playoff game coming up Saturday afternoon. I think it's at 2 o'clock. And Scott Galletti will be down from Albuquerque to do the play-by-play for the Broncos. He's been the voice of the Broncos this year, along with Jeff Gunn. And so, yes, you if you're not able to go to the Wool Bowl Saturday, if you're going to, for example, be at the Bulldog Bowl on Saturday watching the Bulldogs play, then you can pull up the Bronco game on your phone and watch the Broncos in their playoff game on Saturday afternoon. Did I have? Yeah, there it is. Let me see who it is that they're playing. I think it's Blinn College is who they are going to be playing. Yeah, NMMI Bronco football. Let's see here. Yep, there's the football schedule. It is, well, that's last year. How did that... You know, I did the same stupid thing before when I went to the website. If you type in the Bronco football schedule, it brings you the spring schedule. So, yeah, it's 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, Blinn College, and it's the first round of the SWJCFC playoffs. Southwest Junior College FC. So, and it'll be at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, New Mexico, 2 o'clock. Saturday afternoon, so you can watch the Broncos while you're at the Bulldog Bowl watching the Bulldogs on Saturday afternoon. Again, it's online ticket purchases only. There's no ticket sales. I mean, technically there is ticket sales at the gate, and by that I mean they have a piece of paper with a barcode on it. So if you walk up to the gate Saturday to get in and you've not already pre-purchased your digital ticket and have your digital ticket displayed on your smartphone to be allowed in, you can step off to the side and there'll be a barcode, a QR code, and you can scan it with your phone camera and it will take you to the gofan.co site on your phone, or it will open up the app if you have an iPhone. And then you can go ahead and make your ticket purchase there. But you've got to have, your phone has to be set up with a credit or a debit card so that you can make online purchases with your phone. So that's the key thing. Like, for example, I have an iPhone, and I downloaded the app, and I do have a way to make payments with the phone. I like it because I use my watch all the time. You know, I'll go in and I'll make a purchase and I'll double click this on the watch and up comes my credit card and I'll just wave it over the card reader, bling, and the purchase goes through. You can do the same thing with your phone. And so what happens for me, if I get ready to buy a ticket, it says, do you want to use Apple Pay? And I'll go, yeah, I'll use Apple Pay. Bling, the transaction goes through and the purchase is made. But some people have smartphones, but they don't have their phones set up to do digital purchases, and you got to have your phone set up to do a digital purchase. So again, they'll help you with that, and you can go by the ticket office at the pit in the afternoon today, tomorrow, or Friday, 1 to 4, and they'll help you get those tickets purchased for Saturday's football game. Okay, what kind of weather are we going to have today? We got Veterans Day tomorrow. We've got volleyball and football in the area Friday. We've got volleyball and football on Saturday. What kind of weather?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty today with a cold front dropping through eastern New Mexico. We could get a few gusts to around 35 miles per hour, but it should be sunny. Our afternoon high in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight, the wind will calm down a little bit. Lows near 40 and clear. And then Veterans Day looks mostly sunny with our afternoon high staying near 70. A little cooler on Friday. Friday, mid-60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve-O. Right now, we've got sunshine, 46 degrees on the out of doors. The winds are northerly, or out of the north, at around 5 miles per hour. Humidity is at 43%. The dew point is 24 degrees. Pressure at 29.93 and rising. Our air quality is 22, which is good air quality. Sunset will be at 4:59 this afternoon. The sun will rise at 6:24 in the a.m. Just a.m., I think of amplitude modulation. What does a.m. really stand for? I know it stands for amplitude modulation, but I'm not sure what the other a.m. is. Carlsbad is sunny and 46, sunny and 55 in Roswell, Hayes and 52 in Hobbs, sunny and 46 in Albuquerque, 44 in Santa Fe, 38 in Cloudcroft, 45 at Ruidoso and Las Cruces, mostly sunny and 34 in Farmington, 36 at Red River, sunny and 53 in Clovis, and over there in Lubbock, Texas, partly cloudy skies, 56 degrees. And here in Artesia, we've got sunshine, 46 on the out of doors. Lunch menus today. We're going to have the morning sausage roll for breakfast, chicken nuggets, some French fries, baby carrots, and cinnamon sliced apples at lunchtime today. So it's morning sausage roll for breakfast, chicken nuggets for lunch today in the Artesia schools. Senior meal site today, beef stew, tomato cucumber salad, cornbread, strawberry shortcake. So it's beef stew. A reminder that the senior center, the meal site, the senior meal site will be closed tomorrow for Veterans Day. So if you're counting on that meal, you're going to have to find an alternate meal tomorrow. So it's beef stew today, closed for Veterans Day tomorrow, and then they'll be back serving lunch on Friday. Senior Center today will be doing Medicare questions and answers. So if you've got questions about Medicare, they have answers, and they'll be doing that at 9 o'clock this morning is the time for that at the Senior Center. Exercise video at 8:15. The Tops Club, Takeoff Pounds Sensibly group, meets from 9 to 11. The jewelry class is at 9:30. Line dancing for beginners is at 9:30. Then after lunch, it'll be wood burning at 1, bridge at 1, dominoes, train game at 1, sewing at 1:30, and they'll have the exercise video at 4. You know, I was thinking if you don't want to get the two classes, the Tops and the Medicare questions and answers, confused, but then again, some of the questions may be okay in both groups. I don't know. Anyway, that's 9 o'clock today. If you have questions and answers about veterans, about Medicare, that's today, 9 o'clock at the Senior Center. Birthdays today. Judy Starkey has a birthday today. Martha Mariscal. Samuel Madrid. Iris Reza has a birthday today. Ronnie Bartlett and Rebecca Barnes. So if you know any of these folks, call them up and wish them a happy birthday today. Judy Starkey, Martha Mariscal, Samuel Madrid, Iris Reza, Johnny Bartlett, and Rebecca Barnes. All having birthdays today. Thanks for the update on that. NMMI, the Broncos, are ranked number 3 in the nation, and they are looking to be invited to a bowl game. So that's how important this football game is Saturday afternoon at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, New Mexico. So again, if you're a Bulldog fan, go to the Bulldog Bowl, cheer on the Bulldogs, but take your phone with you. Well, you got to get in. You'll have your phone with you. And go to KSVPTV.com. We'll have it on our YouTube page, which is KSVP TV on YouTube. And it'll be on our social media, so it'll be streamed out over Facebook Live. And you can be at the Bulldog Bowl. You can be watching the Bulldogs play Mayfield, and then you can have your phone and be watching the Bronco game on Saturday afternoon. All right, let's see what else is going on. We'll do that right after this. Is this what you're thinking right now?
Wow, the holidays are almost here. And then, of course, here come the bills. But we really need a new family vehicle now. What am I going to do?
Don't fret. It's a great time to buy a Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. We have options to suit all your vehicle needs, like 0% GM financing for up to 72 months, plus $500 in Chevy Cyber Cash. Don't worry about the influx of bills come January. Qualified buyers can defer payments for 120 days. That's right, no payments until February. Come visit with our professional sales team for eligible models and the very best in customer service today at Guy Chevrolet Company on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia or GuyChevy.com.
Offer ends November 30, 2021. Must qualify for financing with GM Financial. See dealership for details.
To the brave men and women who serve and protect our country, Superior Express Car Wash in Artesia salutes you. On Veterans Day, Thursday, November 11th, owners Robert and Patty Duncan will give all United States veterans a free Supreme Car Wash, along with a $15 voucher for a meal at La Fonda Restaurant. Happy Veterans Day from Superior Express, Artesia's premier source for clean rides and streak-free shines. Located on North 26th in front of Walmart. God bless our veterans and God bless America.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company, but come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
Mays Lumber has all the hard-to-find hardwood you've been looking for. Oak, cherry, walnut, poplar, and maple. Plus, hard-to-find exotic woods like purple heart, zebra wood, ambrosia maple, black limba, and bloodwood. Perfect for that one-of-a-kind gift piece or table. Get ready with Formica and Wilson Art countertops in 12-footer custom length with installation available. Make it happen at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, serving southeastern New Mexico and beyond since 1934.
Artesia Plumbing and Heating is your authorized Carrier air conditioning dealer. Home owned and operated for over 41 years. Artesia Plumbing and Heating installs residential, commercial, and industrial air conditioners. Artesia Plumbing and Heating handles your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs, including the conversion of evaporative coolers to refrigerated air systems. Cut cooling costs with high-efficiency Carrier unit. Artesia Plumbing and Heating is a proud supporter of the Artesia Bulldogs and Lady Dogs and wishes them the very best in this sports season. Artesia Plumbing and Heating, 746-3712.
Artesia Main Street invites you to celebrate Veterans Day, honoring all who served, Thursday, November 11th in Artesia, New Mexico at Bash Veterans Park, located in front of Artesia City Hall. Third graders from the Artesia Public Schools will be performing their patriotic melody, and the keynote speaker will be Mark Schinnerer of CARC Incorporated. The Artesia Veterans Day celebration, honoring all who served, Thursday, November 11th at 11 a.m. at Bash Veterans Park in front of Artesia City Hall. Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. I was just reading some news headlines. Not going to talk about it, other just to mention it. You want to look it up, that's cool. Florida, state of Florida, the largest school district, is dropping all mask mandates, allowing parents in all grades to decide whether their children should wear a face covering. Miami-Dade County School Superintendent Alberto Carvajal made the announcement after a judge ruled last week that Republican Governor Ron DeSantis was within his authority to allow parents to opt out of strict mandates. But rather than cite the decision, that school superintendent said coronavirus cases are dropping, adding that protocols could change if cases spike again. So he's doing it because of the science, not because of what the Republican governor of Florida had to say about the issue. So there you go. Let's see. The play-in round of the volleyball tournament was last night across the state of New Mexico. And let's see, is there an easy way to get to it from the app? I was going to pull it up on my, I was going to pull it up on my phone here, but golly, get that out of there. All right, so the play-in games last night. Oh, they won't let me rotate the screen? That stinks. Portales beat Albuquerque Academy 3-1. They lost the first set 17-25, and then they came back and won 3 straight. 25-15, 25-19, 28-26. So that was a barn burner there. Pewaukee Valley swept Kirtland Central. That's a 5/12, 25-20, 25-19, 25-18. Santa Teresa beat Moriarty 3-1. That's a 6/11, 25-20, 25-21. Moriarty won the third set, 25-14. And then Santa Teresa won the fourth set, 25-20 to advance. And then, as we mentioned, Artesia goes 5 sets with St. Pius. That's a 7/10. St. Pius won the first set, 25-21. Artesia won the next 2, 25-22 and 25-20. Pius won set 4, 25-14. And then the Lady Bulldogs were able to scratch out a win in set 5, 17-15. So that sets up the tournament Thursday, 10 o'clock as follows. Number 1, Hope Christian gets number 8, Portales. Number 4, Gallup gets number 5, Pewaukee Valley. Number 3, Los Alamos gets number 6, Santa Teresa. And number 2, Goddard gets number 7, Artesia. So all those matches are set for 10 o'clock on Friday morning. We'll have radio coverage here on KSVP. Now, the winners of those 4 matches Friday will meet each other at 6 p.m. on Friday. So the winners meet Friday at 6. The losers will play against each other Friday at 2. It's double elimination in those 2 rounds. So the Goddard Artesia winner will play the Los Alamos Santa Teresa winner at 6 p.m. on Friday. And the Goddard Artesia loser will play the Los Alamos Santa Teresa loser at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Now, if you win the 2 a.m. game, you advance. Or 2 p.m. game. If you lose the 2 p.m. game, then you're done. Your season is done. So the 2 p.m. winners will play at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. And believe it or not, they are going to play winners from the 6 p.m. game on Friday evening. So the 6 p.m. winner, let me get this. No, that's not right. That's not right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the winner M8. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Loser M6 and the loser M5. Okay. So the losers, I got that wrong. The losers of the 6 p.m. game on Friday play the winners of the 2 p.m. game on Friday in a contender bracket match Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Then the winners of the 6 p.m. games matches will play the winners of the contender bracket 8 a.m. games. Okay? So if you lose at 10 a.m. Friday and win at 2 p.m. Friday, you play 8 a.m. Saturday. And if you win that game, you play a semifinal game at noon Saturday. And then the championship game is at 4 p.m. on Saturday. As soon as you lose your second game, you're out. But once you get to the semifinal, which will pit a winner from the winner's bracket against a winner from the contender's bracket, that's single elimination. So you lose that one, you're done. Even if it's your first loss, you're done. So Goddard Artesia, 10 a.m. Friday. The winner plays at 6 p.m. Friday. The loser plays at 2 p.m. Friday. If the 2 p.m. loser loses again, if the 2 p.m. the 2 p.m. loser loses again in the 2 p.m. game, they're done. If the 2 p.m. loser wins, they play 8 a.m. on Saturday against a loser from the 6 p.m. game the night before. Okay, there we go. Then the semis are at noon, and the championship is at 4 in volleyball. So I think we have it figured out. All right, what does Jared have for you? Eric has our Eddy County Sports Report, and Kim Commando with your tech tip for Wednesday.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Carlsbad is out with data from the summertime showing 2,557 people visited the water park on Memorial Day weekend alone. In the month of June, more than 13,700 people visited the water park. And that would have been even more if it weren't for storms that closed the park at the end of June. No matter, the numbers were a welcome rebound after a tough 2020 that saw the park remain closed due to the pandemic. 2 energy companies are helping to form a new emergency response initiative that will include units from Eddy County. Chevron North America and Cimarex Energy are forming the Delaware Basin Emergency Response Team. Members of the team would be called out to help with major emergencies throughout eastern New Mexico and West Texas. Chevron recently presented Eddy County a $65,000 check for its emergency management office. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Now more than ever, you need to stay as healthy as possible. At Lowell's Pharmacy, we want to help by providing flu shots and COVID-19 vaccines. Now is the time to come into Lowell's Pharmacy for your flu shot. Employers can schedule with Lowell's to conduct a flu shot clinic at your place of business. And it's okay to get your flu shot and COVID-19 vaccination at the same time. You will have to register for your vaccine at nmvaccine.org. The key to staying healthy is exercise, eat nutritional foods, keep up your appointments with your doctor, and get the flu shot and COVID-19 vaccine at Lowell's Pharmacy, across from the hospital on North 13th in Artesia.
It's time for the Eddy County Sports Report. Boy, sometimes there's not a more exciting event than a volleyball match, especially if there's a lot on the line. And the Artesia Lady Bulldogs just eked out a victory over St. Pius last night in a thriller. The match went to 5 sets. Artesia lost the first set and then came back to win the next 2. Lost the fourth set of 25-14, but ended up going to the very distance and then some to defeat the Sardins 17-15 in set number 5. Artesia plays against Goddard in the next round. That'll be 10 a.m. on Friday in Rio Rancho. These teams have played 3 times already. Goddard won the first, Artesia won the second, then Goddard swept in the third. That should be fun as well on Friday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio AM 990.
One of the hottest Christmas gifts this year is the hardest to get. Can you guess what it is? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. If you guessed anything related to video games, you're wrong. The answer is an e-bike. They're everywhere. They're fast and fun. They're outselling classic bikes by more than 2 to 1, and sales are only getting stronger. And they're pricey, $3,000 to $9,000. E-bikes come in 2 flavors. One is like a slow electric moped. You don't need to pedal. You have a handlebar throttle and go up to 20 miles per hour. The other is more like a traditional bike. As you pedal, a small electric motor kicks in. With just 1 turn of the pedals, you're traveling as if you pedaled 3 or 4 times. It's called pedal assist. It feels like your bike weighs nothing as you climb the steepest hills with ease. And here's a holiday shopping tip. Buy now. There's a wait list that's growing. Get more holiday shopping tips at commando.com. Happy holidays, Commando Show listeners. You guys and gals know that I'm all about finding the very best tech out there. They don't call me America's digital goddess for nothing. This year, I have a tech tip that'll make you feel merry and bright. Let me tell you all about the Epson EcoTank cartridge-free printer. It cures what I like to call cartridge conniptions. Those moments of absolute panic and total annoyance when you're printing holiday cards or gift tags and your printer's tiny cartridges run out of ink. I don't want you going through that. With Epson EcoTank, kiss those expensive cartridges goodbye. EcoTank uses big ink tanks so you can print your heart out. No need to be stingy with those colorful holiday cards. Send one to your favorite national radio show host. EcoTank comes with a ridiculous amount of ink for a stress-free, cartridge-free, conniption-free holiday season and beyond. Epson EcoTank, just fill and chill. Visit Best Buy, Office Depot, and at Epson.com/EcoTankKim.
Turpinning & Son Mortuary of Artesia now present a listing of today's obituaries. We do not have any new announcements to share with you, but we do have these two reminders. Graveside services are at 10 a.m. this morning at Twin Oaks Memorial Park for Patricia Mary Everett of Artesia, New Mexico, who passed away November 3rd at her home in Artesia at the age of 94. And graveside services are scheduled for 2 p.m. this afternoon at Woodbine Cemetery for Albert Lee Piper of Artesia, who passed away at his home in Artesia on November 8th at the age of 75. Michael Spencer will officiate at the services. This listing has been presented as a service by Turpinning & Son Mortuary of Artesia, where we make it personal. Steve, what kind of weather can we expect over the next couple of days?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty today with a cold front dropping through eastern New Mexico. We could get a few gusts to around 35 miles per hour, but it should be sunny. Our afternoon high in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight, the wind will calm down a little bit. Lows near 40 and clear. And then Veterans Day looks mostly sunny with our afternoon high staying near 70. A little cooler on Friday, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Sunshine, 46 degrees on the out of doors. Well, no, it's 50 now. Just got the update, 50 degrees. Our humidity, 38%. Dew point is 25 degrees. The winds are out of the north at 7. Our pressure, 29.93 and rising. Our air quality index is 22. We have good air quality this morning. Sunset will be at 4:59 this afternoon. Sunrise will be at 6:24 in the morning. Let's see. Looking ahead to tomorrow at that's 11 o'clock. All right. It's going to be windy today, but not tomorrow. Should be sunny. High of 70, low of 39 tomorrow. I was thinking about what it's going to be like at 11 o'clock when we have the Veterans Day program tomorrow at Beish Veterans Park. So we encourage you to come out and attend and say thanks to all the veterans that hopefully will be in attendance tomorrow. Carlsbad, sunny and 51, 59 in Roswell, Hayes and 53 in Hobbs. Sunshine, 46 in Albuquerque, 45 in Santa Fe, 40 in Cloudcroft. 47 at Ruidoso, 49 at Las Cruces, 35 at Farmington. Mostly sunny, 37 at Red River, sunny and 54 in Clovis, and over there in the free state of Texas, partly cloudy, 58 degrees. We've got sunshine and 50 in Artesia. All right, that's looking pretty good. Is there anything else going on here the next couple of days? We mentioned the online football playoff ticket sales. Basketball reserve seat tickets are on sale right now through the 17th if you want to renew your reserve seat. And you can go by the Bulldog Pit ticket office 1 to 4 each weekday. Only reserve seat holders from last year are allowed to purchase their same reserve seats during the window we're in right now. Reserve seats are $110. You get to go to all the high school boys and girls regular season games in the City of Champions Classic Tournament. And then after the 17th, starting on the 18th, all remaining reserve seat tickets go on sale to the public on a first-come, first-served basis. So while you're in there figuring out how to buy a ticket on your phone, you can also get your reserve seat tickets renewed. Right now, they're working on Heath from Hermosa Drive to Park Avenue. It's down to single lane for road work. That started this week and will go through early December. So keep that in mind as that is going on. Blood drives that are taking place. There's going to be one today at the gym at Roswell High from 9 to 2. And then, that was yesterday. Then Saturday, they'll be at Hotel Artesia from 11 to 2:30. So to take a page from the Barking Guys book, you can go donate blood at Hotel Artesia between 11 and 2:30, and then you can head over to the Bulldog Bowl to watch the football game against Mayfield. Veterans Day celebration, as we mentioned, is tomorrow. The Artesia Fire Department Color Guard and the Artesia High Band will, the posting of the colors. Artesia High School Band and third grade choir will sing the national anthem. Patriotic Melody will be performed by the third grade choir. We'll mention the additions to the Wall of Honor. Mark Schinnerer, who is the head of CARC Incorporated, will be the keynote speaker. The high school band will perform the battle hymn, and Adam Fulmar will perform taps, and that'll all be tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. at Beish Veterans Park in front of City Hall. A couple other things this weekend to think about. Boots and Badges, Veterans and First Responders Appreciation Event. That's going to be going on at 1 o'clock on Saturday at Sun Country Home and Garden. And they'll have food trucks, vendors, beer garden, silent auction, kids play area, and hopefully either a radio or a big screen TV showing the football game. So that'll be 1 o'clock on Saturday at Sun Country Home and Garden, Boots and Badges. And the Feed Artesia food drive is Saturday. The Altrusa is doing that. They'll be out in front of Finn's Country Market from 9 to 3. So to take a page from the Barking Guy, you can go grocery shopping at Finn's, buy some extra groceries, and give it to the Altrusa Club for Feed Artesia. Then you can go over to Hotel Artesia and donate blood. And then you can go over to the Bulldog Bowl and wrestle with your phone and your online ticket and get into the Bulldog Bowl to watch the Bulldogs take on Mayfield. And then while you're there, using the phone that you brought with you with your ticket to get in, you could then watch the NMMI Broncos take on Blinn College. I think we got it all covered. I think we do. All right, we'll be back in a minute.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. After months of negotiations, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut have agreed on how to divide up billions of dollars in federal COVID-19 relief money aimed at public transit. New York will receive $10.8 billion, New Jersey will get about $2.6 billion, and Connecticut $474 million. Transit systems in the region lost more than 90% of their ridership during the height of the pandemic. A company that makes products for several sectors, including Homeland Security and Defense, announced plans to set up operations in South Carolina. Elbit Systems of America said the project will create about 300 new jobs. On Wall Street, the Dow down 112 points to 36,319. The Nasdaq lost 95 to 15,886, and the S&P 500 dropped 16 to 4,685. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When is the last time you've been to an old-fashioned revival? What does revival even mean? Webster defines revival as a return or recovery to life from death. Now, why would a church invite people to return and recover from death? That's because so often in our lives we become tired and inactive. We need a time to hear from God and to be awakened to live with the energy and distinction that only Christ Jesus can give. Are you ready for revival? Join us at New Hope Baptist Church November the 7th through the 10th for great music by Christian recording artists, the Wills Family, and our special speaker, evangelist Jake Sinareski from Alaska.
We can't breathe without God. We can't walk without God. We can't talk. We can't preach. We cannot do anything without Him.
It's going to be a powerful week, and we want to see you at New Hope Baptist Church November the 7th through the 10th across from Yeso Elementary School on Center Avenue.
Welcome to Answers with Ken Ham, presented by the Coalition of Christians for Biblical Creation and Steve and Cindy Anderson of Napa Auto Parts in Artesia. CCBC is an interdenominational coalition of Christians from Artesia who believe that the account of origins presented in Genesis is a simple but factual presentation of actual events. Answers with Ken Ham is brought to you by Steve and Cindy Anderson of Napa Auto Parts, proudly serving all of your automotive needs, individual and commercial, with quality Napa parts. Now, today's Answers with Ken Ham.
We need the gospel. This is Ken Ham, head of the ministry that built a full-size Noah's Ark south of Cincinnati. Many Christians say that critical race theory, or CRT, is a tool to address racism, but it's actually an anti-gospel. You see, according to CRT, today's problems are because of whiteness, white privilege, white supremacy, and even white fragility. In this view, the new original sin is racism, but only some people, really those with light skin, are sinners. So it has the wrong view of sin. Also, some CRT followers have the wrong view of salvation. It's a works-based religion. You must continually do the work of anti-racism to be saved. That's not the gospel. Sinners need to repent and trust Christ.
Plan your visit to the full-size Noah's Ark at the Ark Encounter when you go to AnswersRadio.com. Children 10 and under are free this year. Plan your visit at AnswersRadio.com.
Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show, and Superintendent John Ross Knoll joins us for our weekly visit. Good morning to you.
Hey, Gene, good morning. How are you, sir?
Hey, what a exciting match last night at the Bulldog Pit.
It really was. I don't think it could have gotten any closer.
No.
If my math is correct, and it came right down to it, and St. Pius, a lot of credit to them. Really a scrappy team, not a lot of size, but they got after it too, and our ladies just showed a lot of character, even having to battle back from being behind a few points in that last set.
Yep.
And end up and win it by 2 points and get ready to go on to the next stage.
Yeah, and guess who they get to play? Goddard.
Let me think. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Fourth time they'll see Goddard this year, so we'll see what happens on Friday morning.
And I mentioned real quick, Gene, since we're talking athletics, just walked in a couple minutes later than usual because they were having a ceremony for Riley Crandall, signing her letter of intent over in front of the Bulldog Pit. And so congratulations to Riley and her family, and she's going to go be a Baylor Bear.
Okay.
And my brother's vice provost at Baylor, and I was able to send him a picture a few minutes ago of Riley and I, and so he's excited to have her in Waco.
That's good. And I guess I was going to ask you, the online ticketing thing last night was kind of the first time that's been implemented here, and it seemed to go okay.
For the most part it did. There were some exceptions, and there was some frustration, and some that had to kind of step aside and get some help to figure out what was going on. And I wasn't directly involved in what maybe they were particularly having a problem with, but to my knowledge, everybody was able to work through it, and it was good practice last night for Mrs. Lopez, and Mrs. Thorpe was there helping her as people were coming in with their phones to get scanned in to come into the ball game in preparation for Saturday.
Right.
And just want to let everybody know, if you are experiencing frustration with that, reach out to our athletic office, and actually they're available today at the office to help people with purchasing tickets if they need that.
Yeah, some people have a smartphone, but they don't have it set up to make online purchases.
Right, yeah.
And then there's some people that just struggle with the technology, and they have a phone because that's what you get nowadays.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that they're there to help out this afternoon or this week to get ready for that.
Yeah, well, and this is, of course, historically for several years for playoff games, to purchase tickets, you've had to do that online, but you could also print out your ticket and bring your ticket to the gate. And here in Artesia during our regular seasons, of course, just still using regular tickets. And so it is new for some of us. And again, if people are having trouble, let us know, and we'll help you out the best we can.
Very good, very good. You made an announcement at the school board meeting.
I did, Gene. Of course, we had a lot of other things going on and at the school board meeting, but I did make it publicly known that I am going to be retiring it won't be effective until the end of June of 2022, but I had of course talked individually to board members leading up to that time, but made that public announcement Monday night, and just wanted to make sure that our board, including our incoming board members, had the appropriate amount of time to make a plan and make some determinations on posting the job and interview process and how that will roll out, and so they'll be discussing that in December and moving into January.
Now, I'm sure you gave at least one reason. You want to share a little bit with us what you shared with the board when you made your announcement on your...
Well, I actually didn't point to any particular reasons other than just they say that when it's the right time, and it's become clear to me, it's not a snap decision. It's something that I've been praying through and talking with my family over for several months, and just it's become clear to me over these months that it's the right thing for me to do at this point in my career and at this point in my life and this point with my family, and so that's the decision that I've made. And quite honestly, Gene, I have a lot of confidence in and trust that I was placed in this role for this period of time, some of the most challenging times in education that we've faced and perhaps it will ever face. But I believe that been here for a reason in this role and have given 100% to that effort and done the best I could given the circumstances, and can't say enough about our staff and their commitment and the support that they have given me, because it's really about them. It's about them, and it's about what they do for the kids every day. It's not about me, and so certainly couldn't have gotten through this at all without the work that they do and the support that they have given. So I have peace with this decision and the job that we've done, and I also have confidence that the right person is going to be selected to have the vision to move this district forward out of this time. And it's just I just have a lot of faith in that and trust and a lot of confidence that that's going to take place. And as for me personally, I don't know where it's going to lead me.
Right.
Still, by most people's 52, so I'm going to consider that young.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what I'm led to do moving forward. Certainly intend to pursue other opportunities and hope to continue to serve a solid purpose in whatever role that may be. And then also just with my family. Got a son in Lubbock and daughter and son-in-law and a grandbaby in Las Cruces, and so we're pretty strategically placed between Lubbock and Las Cruces, and so have some opportunity to spend a little more time going each of those directions also.
Fantastic. Now, it's an interesting time because you've got 2 new school board members that will be coming on the first of the year. So what do you anticipate the timeline will be, because the board's got to go through a process to post the job, as you said, and then interview and so forth?
Yeah, and Gene, I really, because that'll be on the agenda in December to have that
to lay
discussion
that,
in open meeting to lay out what that plan is. And so I don't want to speak for the board on their behalf what that plan might look like. But I would estimate that it's possible that the board could vote on a replacement either in January or February if the process is that far along and they're comfortable with who they want to recommend and consider and take a vote on.
Well, it's the Artesia Public Schools. I can't imagine there'll be a shortage of applicants for that position. I don't think there was before when you put your hat in the ring a couple of years ago.
No, this and something else that I stated was just how much I have appreciated the support of the board and our community, our schools are envied by many other districts across the state, and many can give accounts of going other places or being other places and coming here and being so thankful for what we have. And it comes initially from the support of our community, the support of our families, the dedication of our staff, and that leadership of the school board. And so I know that that's going to continue in a very positive manner. And as I said, I just have the utmost confidence that things are going to move forward in a very positive way.
Very good. Was there anything else from the board meeting or anything else you wanted to mention
one thing
today?
that I wanted to mention, and I'll do it quickly, but I want people to have an awareness of is, of course, we've talked a lot about social studies standards and this rulemaking process that's coming up on Friday for the social studies standards. But what is also incorporated into that same time frame of public comment is regarding Secretary of Education's ability to remove or suspend a school board. And so
they're taking public comment on that.
They are at the same time. And so it's kind of been it hasn't received near as much publicity as the social studies standards have. But a couple things quickly regarding that is a new provision in that rule is that a board could be suspended for an emergency situation, but it doesn't necessarily define what emergency is. And in that case, there would not have to be a public hearing prior to removal or suspension. Now, it states in the rule that within a practicable amount of time, there must be a public hearing on that, but not initially. If it's a non-emergency suspension, which again it's difficult to separate what those might be, then a public hearing is required prior to that removal. And so just something we need to pay attention to as well, and don't want that to get lost in the discussion of the social studies standards.
That's an important rule to discuss, because it seems like over the last couple of years everything has been a health emergency.
Right.
Under the COVID health emergency.
Right.
So
right.
It might be helpful for future boards and governors and governing bodies to have a more defined definition of what constitutes an emergency.
I agree, because historically boards have been removed primarily for fiscal mismanagement, perhaps violation of procurement rules, or not handling personnel issues perhaps as they should. And so
but there's statutes that are to be followed, so you can say you're not following the law. But in the case, say for example, of the COVID health emergencies, there is no law.
That was something very new. And so anyway, just wanted to bring that up and just make sure people have an awareness that that's going on at the same time.
And that's on Friday.
Friday from 1 to 5 is that public comment period.
By Zoom.
It is by Zoom, yes. And there's a Zoom link on our website and also on the Public Education Department website.
Okay.
So
very good. Keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
And, thank you.
Hey,
I know
Gene,
we'll have you on a few more weeks.
Oh, yeah. We've got,
school year ends.
I'm 100% committed to these tasks that are at hand with us, and also to ensuring a smooth transition for our students and our staff and our families.
Very good. Thank you. Superintendent John Ross Noel will be back in a moment.
Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them the cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. Every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A pair of diamond bracelets that once belonged to the beheaded wife of French King Louis XVI sold for more than $8 million at auction.
That is the sound of a gavel banging as two opulent bracelets are sold for $8.34 million. The jewellery belonging to the infamous Marie Antoinette featured 112 diamonds. The final auction price was much higher than the pre-sale estimate of between $2 to $4 million. After her death by guillotine in 1793, the bracelets remained within royal lineage for over 200 years. I'm Karen Chamas.
China's biggest online shopping day, known as Singles Day, November 11th, taking on a more muted tone this year. as regulators crack down on the technology sector and President Xi Jinping pushes for what is termed common prosperity. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Crackdown on cyber crooks continues.
A suspected Ukrainian hacker has been arrested and charged in the U.S. in connection with a string of ransomware attacks, including one that snarled businesses around the globe on July 4th weekend. Yaroslav Wazinski was arrested last month in Poland. The Justice Department also announced the recovery of $6.1 million in ill-gotten funds from a Russian national who was separately charged and is wanted by law enforcement. Both men are alleged to be affiliated with the Russia-based Revil ransomware gang, which has been blamed for hacks that have extorted at least $200 million in payments. John Scott reporting.
President Biden to visit the port of Baltimore later today, hoping to call attention to administration efforts to upgrade the nation's ports, which have been a major focus of late because of ships waiting to dock and a shortage of truck drivers who haul goods. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Today's KSVIPs, the Artesia High School faculty and staff. The Artesia High School administration would like to thank you for all of your hard work and the dedication that you show in and out of the classroom. Thank you, and we appreciate you. Today, we're going to bring a flower that you can all share to the Artesia High School from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIPs, the faculty and staff at Artesia High School.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so white and nerdy. Just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters. But so far they all think I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Really, really white and nerdy.
My class here at MIT. Got skills, I'm a champion of D&D. MC Escher, that's my favorite MC. Keep your 40 out just...
I'm trying to type an email here, and sometimes it anticipates what I think I'm going to say. Let's see. Okay, let me send that. All right. I think I said it the way I wanted to say it. Anyway, how you doing there? Welcome back to the 8 o'clock hour. What is this? Well, that's already been taken care of. Anyway, welcome back. 8 o'clock hours coming up here on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Thanks to Superintendent John Ross Null, who was with us in the last segment and shared with us the news that he presented to the school board on Monday night about his upcoming retirement at the end of this school year. We have the mayor who will be visiting with us later here in just a few minutes. And then we've got, we're not going to have our CVE report today. Both of them are out. And so I'm either going to have to replay another segment or I'll just have to babble on about something and talk about something. I don't know if I can do that. But I bet I can too. Reminder, with the volleyball victory last night by the Lady Bulldogs, they now play Goddard in the first round of the, well, that's not the first round. I guess it's the, what do they call it? Well, they're calling it round one. That would be the first round.
Probably quarterfinals, isn't it?
Well, they call it the first round, and then if you win that one, then it's a quarterfinal game.
Okay.
So they call it round one. This was the play-in match last night, and then, so if you play in a play-in match, by definition, have you played in the state tournament?
I think Pius thinks they have.
They were pretty fired up last night, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they got a nice bus and they came all the way down here and fought hard and almost won.
Yeah.
But it was pretty exciting match. But if you're playing into the tournament, then is that technically a tournament game? And should we have all been forced to pay $10 on our phones plus the $1.25 service fee to get into the game last night?
I'm just glad you're technologically smart enough to actually do that. I had trouble in Belen, couldn't do it when I was up there for the football game, and I've gotten a little better, but it took me a while to get it done because I had council last night, so I didn't pre-order a ticket because you never know if we'll finish. But
right.
Anyway, when I got there, it took me a little while to actually read the code, follow all the instructions, and finally get it to the point where I could get inside the gate. But anyway, I'm not excited about that system. In fact, my wife wants me to write a letter to the editor of the Albuquerque Journal, contact the governor, and appeal to NMAA because she believes it's discriminatory against seniors, and also there are folks in our community that don't have credit cards. There are folks that have flip phones, and there are some folks that are just not technologically based to where it's real difficult. And I mean, I'm very concerned about our game Saturday here because everyone, I mean, it's a thing where I bet at United Soccer in Albuquerque or Albuquerque Dukes baseball, you can still buy a ticket.
Yeah. Well, and like you didn't hear the barking guy last night. He doesn't have a cell phone.
Okay.
He had no way. I mean, I offered to buy him his ticket.
Yeah.
And I said, just call me when you get here and I'll meet you at the gate. Oh, wait, you don't have a cell phone. You can't call me when you get here. But you're right. And I think a lot of this would be alleviated if you could print out your ticket.
Because then they could actually do it at the schools, But no, some people don't want their credit card on an internet-based, possibly be hacked in the future.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I don't blame folks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited about it either. And if mine gets hacked, I hope the NMA gets sued for, the fact that they basically forced
did you read the terms and conditions on the app, on the GoFan app?
I couldn't.
There's an indemnification clause. There is a no class action lawsuit clause. I mean, all of that is in their terms and conditions. So when you accept their terms and conditions to buy the tickets to the platform, you in essence are saying, if it gets screwed up or I get my identity stolen, I can't sue you and I can't do a class action suit against you.
Oh, I bet there's a judge in Santa Fe that would be happy to help some of us out because they don't have to bother to read the law sometimes.
Yeah, we kind of went through it on there. I mean, let's look at the terms and conditions. And it took about 5 minutes to kind of scroll through there, but I saw the keywords. I saw indemnification. Yeah. I saw class action lawsuit. I saw all that stuff in there. So yeah, it's like I said, if you could go to the Bulldog Pit office on a Thursday and sit down with them and have them buy the ticket online and print it out, then it's a win-win. They get to track the dollars. They get to handle the dollars.
Right.
And then the fan has the ticket.
Something that he can actually get in the gate with.
Yeah, that would be the...
Yeah, I mean, this deal, and, it's sad, but anyway.
Yep, some people got in last night, that's for sure. So, all right, we're going to take a break for the weather right now. The mayor is with us. We'll talk about last night's city council meeting in just a moment.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty today with a cold front dropping through eastern New Mexico. We could get a few gusts to around 35 miles per hour, but it should be sunny. Our afternoon high in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight, the wind will calm down a little bit. Lows near 40 and clear. And then Veterans Day looks mostly sunny with our afternoon high staying near 70. A little cooler on Friday, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Right now, we've got 50, let's let it update, 57 degrees here in Artesia. Humidity is at 29%. The dew point is 25 degrees. Winds are westerly at 10 miles per hour. They'll be picking up later today. Barometric pressure is at 29.93 and rising. Our air quality is 25. We have good air quality this morning. The high yesterday was 81, the overnight low 40. 1 year ago, we had a high of 77 and a low of 31. Minimum 4-inch soil temps are around 55 degrees. All right, We'll take the break. Be back with the mayor after this.
There's magic in the air. The 40th annual Holiday Magic Art and Craft Show. Friday and Saturday, November 19th and 20th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Featuring a variety of unique handmade creations by artists, artisans, and crafters from New Mexico and Texas. Mixing returning favorites with many new exhibitors. Featured artists include Judy Alvarez and Wandine Phipps from Artesia, New Mexico. Find an array of unique crafts such as fine art, jewelry, pottery, glass and woodwork, women's and children's apparel, leatherwork, stuffed bears, and sweet green chili. Tasty treats like pumpkin rolls by Deborah Lucas, Keek's Tie, Sandra's Roasted Corn, mini donuts by Karen Hendricks, and plenty more. Door prizes including nativity sets, paintings, gift certificates, and more. Admission is $2 and kids 12 and under are free. Google Holiday Magic 2021 to learn more. Holiday Magic, November 19th and 20th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Put a little magic into your holiday season.
When I was young, I thought I had forever to prepare for retirement. But as the years went by, retirement got closer and closer. Well, I wish I'd have started saving 10 years earlier.
How you spend your retirement depends on what you do now while you're still working. We've helped a lot of area seniors prepare for retirement. Stop in and see us about saving for yours. Western Bank of Artesia. We're big on you. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Egger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Jesus once said, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Hey, I'm Pastor Nolan with Catalyst Church in Artesia. It's safe to say that we've all faced trouble over the last year. Work, school, sports, and many other social functions have been dramatically impacted, and we're still not quite back to normal. It can be overwhelming just to think about all the changes we have faced. Jesus' words still ring true for us today, and we can have courage knowing that no matter what we face in this world, there is one who has overcome it. I want to personally invite you to Catalyst Church on the corner of 13th and Hermosa in Artesia. The dress is casual, the teaching is helpful, the music rocks, and your kids will have a blast. Our worship service begins at 10 a.m., and we would love for you to join us. We hope to see you this Sunday at Catalyst Church.
Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Time to turn our attention to city government, and Mayor Ray Miller joins us. And I figured it wasn't a terribly long council meeting last night because I saw you at the volleyball game last night.
Well, yeah, we were actually done by about 3 minutes after 6, and I hadn't attended any of the volleyball games previously. So I was hoping to make this one, and then when I figured out that it was also going to be like the fiasco that we may encounter on Saturday with folks trying to get their tickets online after all the problems I had when I went to Belen for the football game, and you had to have a online ticket, and I couldn't get my phone to do it. Of course, I'm in that senior citizen category that's a little more technologically challenged. And, of course, they had some folks there with tablets to try to help folks who were challenged. And the lady, tried to get me a ticket, and she didn't think it went through, and she had to go get another tablet, and we redid it. And then I warned my wife that I might get double charged. It took about 30 minutes for me to get inside the gate at Belen. And when our credit card bill came in, sure enough, we had 2 charges. So then we had to go to the credit card company and ask for a refund because it was a duplicate charge, which we did get. But it's just
the whole process. Whereas they could have said, "Hey, 2 tickets, $10 or whatever," and you could have handed them a $10 bill.
And they figured it out how to get that processed into their system. But anyway, I just, I'm not happy, but we'll see. I hope that everybody, and I think the schools recognize some of the issues. I think they're at the pit. They have some help available on Wednesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon to try to help folks who are, like myself, technologically challenged to actually get it. The bad thing is that you have to be able to pull it back up at the time you go to the gate. You can't screenshot it, print it off, or do anything where you come with a paper copy of it. You've actually got to have it on your device at the time that you try to enter the gate.
I talked to somebody last night who used their device, bought the tickets, and then emailed the information to who was going to use it, so they'd have it on their phone. That doesn't work either. So it's just like you said, the device that made the purchase has to be the device that you present. And
but anyway, not happy with NMAA, but I've been unhappy before. I remember going to a basketball game in Albuquerque for playoffs years ago, and there was a crowd inside the gym. It wasn't at the pit. There was a crowd inside the gym for the previous game. Those people wouldn't leave, or didn't have to leave because they'd already bought a ticket, and the fire marshal wouldn't let us in because there was too many people in the gym. And we missed about the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game before enough people left that they would actually let us in, and I was livid.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's a thing where we will pray for the best for Saturday, and then we will try to exercise our freedom of speech afterwards.
That's right. And the good news is that if our Bulldogs prevail over Mayfield on Saturday, which we hope they do, you'll get to do it again the following week.
Well, maybe. Now, you're making assumptions of who you think will win on the other side.
Well, no, both owe Artesia.
Oh, both owe? Because I...
Well, let me correct that. Farmington owes.
Right.
Santa Teresa, there's no history, so it goes to the higher seed.
Oh, okay.
So there's no coin flip.
Okay.
Because I asked if we needed to bring out the magic coin to do a coin flip.
So Santa Teresa beat PV?
No. Santa Teresa plays Farmington.
Okay, but who did they beat to get to Farmington?
They beat PV. That's right.
Oh, that's a surprise. PV was probably looking ahead to the rematch with Farmington and forgot to show up at the game with Santa Teresa.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But there is no prior history with Artesia in semifinal or final game, so then it goes to the higher seed. So either way.
Because we were thinking it would be a PV Farmington rematch. Farmington owed us, but PV we actually, I think, owed. But I don't think anybody gave Santa Teresa. In fact, PV forgot to give Santa Teresa.
That's right. That's right. So
well, let's see.
So the good news is, that's right. But the good news is, if the Bulldogs take care of business and don't look past and win their game with Mayfield, then they'll get to play the semifinal game. Will be at the Bulldog Bowl.
Yeah, Mayfield's a really good team. And I honestly don't think there's any way our kids will be looking past.
Right.
Because it's do or die time, and the coaches are certainly going to try to make sure that their focus is on winning. But
that's
anyway,
right.
It should be an exciting and hopefully a beautiful Saturday afternoon for football.
That's right. Well, let's dig into the city council report. And
yeah, it was a thing where we had some items that I felt like might take quite a bit of time, but things went fairly smoothly. On our consent agenda, we just had some contracts and leases that no one had any particular questions. Obviously, all of those are in the council packet before, to where the councilors have had a chance to review them. Obviously, they can pull anything off of consent if they have questions about it, but there weren't any. We had a couple of hires. We had some travel requests. So everything was fairly routine on the consent agenda, and in fact, we had some routine resolutions that were, certifications, commitments, fair housing requirements, or, just a whole series of things. But that all went just smooth. There were no questions by the council, and those were all adopted. We then moved into a public hearing, and the hearing was for the redistricting of the council seats. And the city has to contract with a firm, and we used a firm that is managed by Rod Adair, who was born in Hagerman. I think he was a state senator or something for a while out of the Roswell area.
He's a demographer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that because I never got it pronounced correctly. And he was in attendance at our meeting along with one of his staff folks to answer questions. It was a thing where we did have a couple of folks actually speak from the public. One suggesting that the council consider Plan A, which was the 5% plan, and one person mainly asking some questions about the process and how things were actually done. And it was a thing where Artesia's population, I believe they indicated in the last census, was set at 12,875, and as a result, any community that has in excess of 10,000 residents is required to district their council positions rather than, now if you're a small community, if there's only 4,000 people in your community, then you can actually elect your city council at large. And so, the folks who just run as a city councilor, and the highest number of vote getters for the number of positions then wind up being the elected councilors. But if you're over 10,000, you're required to actually be divided into districts. We have 4 districts in Artesia. And every 10 years when the census is done, then you're required to look at the population shifts within your districts and consider redoing those. And there was a statute passed here a few years ago that says that basically when you do this redistricting, as long as you get the district boundaries to within 5% of what the breakout of the population would be across the city, then it's acceptable to adopt something in that format. As it was, Mr. Adair's firm had presented us a couple of different options. One option fell within the 5% category in the 5 districts. The other option...
5 districts or...
4 districts, but it fell within the 5%.
5%, okay.
Limitation on population variance between the districts. The other one basically divided the districts to where they were virtually identical, 1/4 of 12,875. The problem with the perfect break was actually 2 of our city councilors, Councilor Rodriguez and Mariscal, would have moved into Councilor Mullen and Councilor Moreau's district. Councilor Moreau would have been moved into Councilor Hill's and Hagelstein's district. Councilor Yahtzee and Bratcher both stayed in their district, but there were no councilors left in the district that was for currently Rodriguez and Mariscal. And so it would have caused some confusion in upcoming elections because you would have had, councilors who didn't live in the district any longer for some of the upcoming elections. But anyway, by adopting Plan A, it actually left everybody in the district that they currently represent, but it did certainly change some of the boundaries. One of the examples, like under Plan A, which was what was adopted last night by the council, where I live in the Country Club neighborhood and the Canyon Stone Apartments that are just west of us there, we were previously, or had been, in the district of Kent Bratcher and Jeff Yahtzee. Well, our tract, including all of the Yates Farm subdivision, because there are a couple of new houses in there. That area got added to Councilor Rodriguez and Mariscal's district and taken off of the Yahtzee-Bratcher district. And part of that is because if you look in the past 10 years, there's been a lot of new homes that have been built in West Acres there between 20th and 26th, and now the new subdivision west of 26th there off of Hermosa, then you have additional roofs going up. So the population counts that have resulted from all those new homes have raised the number of folks living in that district to where some of the residents had to be moved into another district to balance things. And so, yeah, there were some differences, and there are differences in the new lines, in the districts to try to keep everything in a relatively close balance of a fourth of the population being represented by each district, but it wasn't as radical given where the existing councilors actually lived. So,
well, let me ask you this. You mentioned that 12,000, 13,000, basically divided by 4 within 5%.
Right.
Are there any other demographic factors that need to be included or applied when these boundary lines are drawn up?
They have the ability through the census because they ask you a lot of questions, but it appears that for small municipalities like ours, it's primarily just a population making sure that the equal number of folks basically are represented by each district, or relatively within 95% or 5% plus or minus. That is the primary criteria. It winds up being a thing where I know one of the counselors had received a call from a constituent and asked between Plan A and Plan B what was the breakout between Democrat and Republican. Did a particular district under one plan or the other have either a majority in one party or the other? And the counselor says, I have no idea. And the reason is because city council and mayor is not a party politic. We are basically nonpartisan. We're not elected because we are selected by a party to run and a primary or anything. It's a thing where we don't believe, that we are part of a party. We believe that basically as mayor, I believe I represent every citizen of Artesia, no matter which party they're associated with. And I believe each one of the councilors, while, certainly they are elected in a district, I believe the 8 councilors that serve currently on the city council actually see their mission as what is best for the citizens of Artesia, not necessarily what's best for their district. Now, certainly they're interested in what goes on with city projects in their district and all, but it's a thing where the approach the council has taken is looking at what is the best for the city as a whole. We see our mission, or I see the mission of the city as basically taxpayers have given us an amount of money for us to utilize. We should be very prudent with that in our expenditures. Our primary services are obviously police, fire, streets, water, sewer, sanitation. Those are critical infrastructure needs of the city and require us to make sure that we're providing a proper level of service for the constituents. All of the other things that we have in the city, parks, cemetery, senior center, library, those things are all nice, but to me they're secondary to the primary mission, and they need to be, if we can afford to do them and we see that the taxpayers believe that that's a good utilization of their money, that's fine. But it winds up being a thing where they shouldn't be the dominant, because your real primaries are making sure that you have the critical infrastructure in place for a well-functioning city and the proper use of the taxpayer's dollar.
Well, and I think, too, the news, people pay attention to the news and political news, and they look at statewide politics. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which, who's ever in charge, political party affiliation does play a factor in state legislative districts. But that is not a factor that is used when the city council said draw up some new plans for us, some new districts for us. And
yeah, and it's a thing where, unfortunately, both in our state and in our nation, politics has become almost more of a dominating factor on decisions rather than what is actually good for the country as a whole. And that's really sad because to a degree, it has become divisive. And what we really want is to look for ways to enhance the opportunities of the citizenry, utilize taxes to benefit, the primary missions. I mean, we need defense of our country. I mean, if you have no defense, there's a good chance that someone at some point will decide to take part or all of you away. But, there are a lot of primary missions that the federal government should be looking at and trying to determine how to best provide the opportunities for great lives. I find a work ethic, but of course I was raised by folks who lived through the Depression.
Oh, yeah.
And, they were always worried that, we would lose our jobs, we wouldn't have enough to actually eat, couldn't support our families because they had gone through times that were extremely difficult in the Depression. Of course, now my dad was raised up here at Mayhill and lived out on the ranch. And my mother asked him about the Depression era at Mayhill. And he goes, well, now, what years exactly were those? And the problem is, living on the ranch in the 30s and 20s and 40s, they didn't have any money hardly anyway. They sold a few calves each year, and the money they got, they bought the Staples flour and stuff with, and they
survived.
They survived. They raised corn, and they bartered with other folks who raised potatoes and carrots and stuff up in the mountains because there was, at that time, a large agricultural effort in the Cox Canyon, James Canyon area, and as a result, there was both dryland farming and a little bit of irrigation, but a lot of it was dryland farming because it was very wet in the summer. And, he didn't really know the effect of a depression when he was young, even though he lived through it, because their life, they didn't have a lot of money and didn't have jobs. It was largely a barter and a few cattle that provided their subsistence. But obviously my mother was raised in Kentucky, and her family were school teachers, and some of them lost their jobs, and there were some very difficult times. And
saw it firsthand.
Yeah, and I truly believe, and of course, I've seen it here in Artesia. I worked for family-owned companies who were not rich. In fact, in the 70s, they were what I would call middle class and almost, nothing significant in the way of wealth, but were entrepreneurs that worked to try to pick up leases, develop their own operations in oil and gas. They were kind of junk dealers to start with, picking up a bunch of the old wells that other folks thought had no potential left. And they redeveloped those and then did some infill drilling in edges of those. And over time, worked very hard at it, became very successful. And you look back and you go, wow, what great opportunities. Now, there were also folks who entered the same business at the time, and unfortunately it didn't work out and they went broke. But that's part of the system. Sometimes you can be a hard worker and very bright, but things just don't work out the way you had hoped. Other times, your hard work and success, you have a little luck, and it turns out to be a great thing. And obviously, the Chase Foundation has been rewarding scholarships in this community for years, and it's a wonderful thing because both the Yates families and the Chase families have poured a tremendous amount of their wealth accumulation back into our community, and it really provides for opportunities here that most communities of our size don't have, and it's truly a blessing for our community. But anyway, I guess we should get back on to, but anyway, the council did adopt our Plan A, so we have
Plan A. Okay.
Our districts are actually in place for the upcoming election, and obviously there will be 4 counselors who will be, their seats will be up for re-election. The mayor is also up for re-election in this upcoming election, and that's obviously a citywide type thing.
And Artesia did not join the November election party, so the municipal election for Artesia will be in
March, just like it always has been. The sign-up is in January. There's a date to sign up to be on the ballot, and then there's a date a week later to actually sign up as a write-in. There's a packet that folks will have to pick up to actually sign up. And we actually are seeing a few folks who are attending the council meetings, and many times they're not addressing the council with an issue, and so I suspect that there may be folks who are considering whether they should want to run for a council seat or for the mayor's position, which, it's good for them to try to get an understanding of what they might be getting into before they actually decide to take the plunge. But
Yep, it's a good idea to do that.
Yeah, and it's a thing where when I look at our city council, to be quite honest, I'm very pleased with the makeup of the council. I think every councilor wants what's best for Artesia. They consider things, but there's almost, to a large degree, harmony. A very civil type of approach, and we're all looking for what's best use of the tax dollars, best way to reward our employees, and best way to provide the services for the community. So, so far, in fact, Mr. Adair last night made the comment because he asked early about what time he would be up on the agenda, and we says, probably within 5 minutes after 5, and he made the comment, and he goes, Roswell doesn't usually work that efficiently.
Let's put it this way. Roswell council meetings are such that the mayor there does 2 radio shows on our station up there. He does a preview and then a recap because of all the things that they have to talk about on theirs. And just one recap is sufficient for us. Ooh. I do need to take a break, so we'll come back and talk more with the mayor. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Carlsbad is out with data from the summertime showing 2,557 people visited the water park on Memorial Day weekend alone. In the month of June, more than 13,700 people visited the water park. And that would have been even more if it weren't for storms that closed the park at the end of June. No matter, the numbers were a welcome rebound after a tough 2020 that saw the park remain closed due to the pandemic. 2 energy companies are helping to form a new emergency response initiative that will include units from Eddy County. Chevron North America and Cimarex Energy are forming the Delaware Basin Emergency Response Team. Members of the team would be called out to help with major emergencies throughout eastern New Mexico and West Texas. Chevron recently presented Eddy County a $65,000 check for its emergency management office. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Welcome to DSI, New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Eddy County Sports Report. Boy, sometimes there's not a more exciting event than a volleyball match, especially if there's a lot on the line. And the Artesia Lady Bulldogs just eked out a victory over St. Pius last night in a thriller. The match went to 5 sets. Artesia lost the first set and then came back to win the next 2. Lost the fourth set of 25-14, but ended up going to the very distance and then some to defeat the Sardins 17-15 in set number 5. Artesia plays against Goddard in the next round. That'll be 10 a.m. on Friday in Rio Rancho. These teams have played 3 times already. Goddard won the first, Artesia won the second, then Goddard swept in the third. That should be fun as well on Friday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio AM 990.
Hey everyone, with today's Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. The team is temporarily without a kicker as Greg Zuerlein was placed yesterday on the COVID list. Details after this.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Becky Hammond on being the first woman to coach in the NBA.
What if it's no big deal that I'm a woman? What if it's about striving for excellence and being the best me without the label?
It's not about where others say you should be. It's about where you want to go. It's about a financial services company that focuses on your measures of success. Whether it's for your home or business, we offer personalized service and expert advice to help you achieve your unique goals.
Visit swbc.com for financial services without the labels.
Zuerlein's kick. Is it long enough? It is into the net for the victory.
Cowboys kicker Greg Zuerlein, who nailed that game-winning 56-yarder for the walk-off win in Week 2 at the Chargers, was placed yesterday on the reserve COVID-19 list. With no kicker on the practice squad, in essence, there's a help wanted sign today at the Star as the team brings in other kickers for tryouts, including Brett Maher, who kicked for the Cowboys in 2018 and 19, as well as Liram Hairulahu, who was with the team this summer for the end of preseason, as well as 1 week of the regular season on the practice squad. How important is a kicker in the NFL? Last year, 23% of all games were decided by 3 points or less. With the boys at the Star, I'm Christy Scales.
Welcome back here on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. We have Mayor Ray Miller with us, and City Council did meet last night, and one of the items of business, the council did adopt redistricting Plan A, so that will be used moving forward, I guess, for the next 10 years. Is that how often that gets
It'll
done?
be 10 years before they redo it again. So.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there were some other things that were discussed.
Yeah, we had quite a few other items on the agenda. We had voted in a change in our pay for our employees last time, and actually made a change to the base salaries for beginning employees in a bunch of the different areas. And so they adopted the resolution for the pay classification plan change that reflected what the council had approved previously. Under the community development, we also had a report from Jim McGuire. Council had asked for a definitive quote on asbestos removal and lead paint removal of the old armory for consideration of, if we got that removed, should we remove the structures, try to market the property for development in the private sector. Initially, we were thinking that the total cost would be less than $50,000. We don't have a final number yet, but it appears that there's a lot more lead paint in the old building than we were aware of, and that the cost may be considerable. And so as a result, that may result in us deferring doing anything for a while if the cost, because indications are that it may be in excess of $100,000.
Wow.
For the abatement process, not the actual removal of the building itself. So, but that was given in the way of an update to the council. Also, the infrastructure department had a request for myself and Mayor Pro Tem to be able to sign a bulk water purchase agreement with Navajo Refinery. We have several things going on with the refinery. Obviously, they're in the process of their biodiesel plant expansion. And so there's some things both with water and wastewater in the way of agreements. And one of the things that they have been working on with the refinery is an agreement for future year purchases of fresh water from us, because they are our largest purchaser, and we really appreciate the fact that the refinery does purchase water, because if you're a utility, one of your problems is that, some of your customers, like me at my house, in the middle of a hot summer, I use a lot more water to keep my grass and my garden going than I do in the winter and the fall just to run my shower, which also I do take in the summer when it's hot as well. But as a result, it's a peak, whereas the refinery in their processes are buying water from us 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They're the ideal utility customer because they basically are a constant delivery type of thing. And they've been a large customer of the city's water department. And so this is an agreement that basically continues a continuity of purchases, or a commitment for purchases for years to come. And it really is a tremendous help to the city, because if the refinery didn't buy water from us, then the rate that each customer would have to pay would be significantly higher, because to a degree, you still have the same number of meters. I think the refinery has like 7 meters for all of the water that they buy, whereas all of our little meters for everybody's household requires a lot of administrative staff, water readers or meter readers and stuff that exist if we don't have, to where, council would be faced with some significant rate increases. So the refinery really, truly helps our utility be a lower cost than what might otherwise occur. The city clerk had, and the council did approve that agreement, or for us to be able to enter into that agreement and then ratify it at a future meeting. Because the agreement, the draft was already included in their packet, and largely we're down to some very fine adjustments between the attorneys to make sure that everybody's happy on both sides. We also had a budget adjustment related to the retention salaries and all, as to how it would be done in the budget from the city clerk. That was approved. And then the last thing that we had an executive or a closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act to discuss the purchase of real property. And then after the closed meeting, we came out back into open session, and the council actually passed a resolution to enter into a purchase of a 1 acre tract of property at Crossbow and 82 from a private party. And that deal is so that we have additional acreage there adjacent to the water tank on the west side of town, because we're actually looking at drilling a water well there right at that facility. Now, we had enough acreage. We could have done it right there on the existing, but it would have been very cramped. It's a grade issue for access. It would be a lot harder to get the equipment in and out in the future, whereas this right next to it is a much easier spot. And thankfully, the party that has the tract of land was agreeable to actually consider working with the city to let us have it. It also helps keep the view shed. And while some people don't see a tank as being a beautiful view shed, the fact that we have all of our state championships and stuff on the state or on the water tank, it makes it nice for folks who do drive by to actually be able to see and recognize the success and how proud our community is of all of the different activities that our kids are involved in across, and it's a thing where I really, I was not very athletic when I was young, but it's a thing where I wound up, high school I went to, I was a manager. I was taller than any of the kids on the basketball team, but I didn't have the coordination. But it's a thing where I see the involvement of many of our students in activities as being really positive. And in this day and age when, kids so many times they get involved in the video stuff and all to where their bodies become lethargic. They're not active. They're not out running like kids in the past were and playing and stuff. And as a result, I worry that our health in future years will stop extending our average life expectancy, and will actually regress just because of the fact that the level of activity that we have when we're young, and that can certainly continue as folks get older if they continue to have that as their primary driver.
But it's nice to be able to recognize them, and that's kind of an Artesia landmark. That
it truly is.
Water tank there. So
anyway, but that was adopted, and like I say, all of that got done basically in an hour and 3 minutes, and I think the council was very pleased with all the stuff that's going on. Of course, what most folks don't realize is a lot of the work actually occurs at the committee levels. I know our planning committee, they announced us having a meeting this Friday at 4:30. Now, if I was on that committee, I would really not prefer
Friday at 4:30?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's...
Not Friday at 10:30?
Well, or Thursday
at 4:30?
Yeah, Friday at 4:30. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sucks in my mind, because by that time, I'm trying to be on the weekend.
Else. Yeah.
Or I'm thinking about being on the weekend. But anyway, it's a thing where I do appreciate. In fact, the Infrastructure Committee met this last week, and they gave a report on their stuff, and many of the issues that we have are actually vetted at length in the committees, and as a result, when there's a recommendation that comes forward to council, most of the times council realizes that the committees have looked at the issue carefully, and if they come forward with a unanimous recommendation, it's hard not for the council to just agree with what the committee's recommendation is, because they feel like it's been analyzed carefully, and sometimes at lengthy discussion. In fact, sometimes they have multiple meetings over the same issue. In fact, I think the one Friday with planning, they heard previously, but unfortunately the meeting was cut short because it conflicted with another meeting. They were on a limited time, and they didn't get the time to actually get a full vetting of the issue. And so I think the citizen who had an issue is coming back to meet with them, and they will listen to the issue and try to figure out if there's something that needs to come before the council in the way of a change or a variation or whatever the situation is.
It's good that those processes are there. I know the city's working on the 26th Street project. You're having some meetings with citizens now, and
I think they had a meeting on the 20th Street project because
20th,
I think,
okay.
Yeah, they're fixing to do repaving of that, and obviously that artery is, if you live in that area, that's probably the way that you go home, whether you're just east of 20th or west of 20th. But anyway, when they're in the process of repaving that, there'll be sections closed.
And that's the 20th
Yeah,
Street.
the 20th
Okay.
Street. But then I think there are ways either through Hermosa or through some of the other streets, either on the west side or east side, that you can access to your house. It may just not be as convenient as you're used to, particularly if you live on the corner of 20th and something.
Right,
You know?
right. That's right. No, it's needed. So
Yeah.
you just got to get it done.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to mention, or?
No, it's a thing where, I know that our employees, I always appreciate the work that they do. I've had the chance to visit with a couple of our groups this week, and it doesn't matter which department the employees are in. I thank them for their continued service. I know this last year with COVID has been very difficult. And also the fact that we went through a hiring freeze and many of the staffs have been reduced in size. Folks are doing more than what they traditionally did just because that we have less employees. But it's a thing where we appreciate what they've done, and I appreciate the council's efforts to actually try to provide them with some retention pay and stuff. That even though it's a one-time, it certainly helps our employees recognize that the council realizes that they're truly the most important asset that the city has. It's not our trucks, it's not our backhoes, it's not our trash trucks, it's not the digester at the wastewater plant, although we have to have it to make it work. But the folks that are actually manning each one of those are certainly the most critical component, and our police and fire are in the same group. Every employee is a valuable employee for the city.
Very good. Mayor Ray Miller, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to seeing you again. Hopefully you'll get into the football game on Saturday.
If I'm lucky.
All right, we're going to go to Town Hall News. Be back on the other side.
Been a major focus because of ships waiting to dock and a shortage of truck drivers to haul goods, delays that have led to inflation. Today, the president visits the Port of Baltimore to highlight the types of investments that his administration believes will help unclog the supply chain. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Inflation continues eating away at Americans' buying power. Consumer prices soared 6.2% last month. Compared with a year earlier, Americans now grappling with the highest inflation rate since way back in 1990. Unemployment applications fell last week. The number of Americans signing up for jobless benefits dropped to 267,000.
The Labor Department says jobless claims fell by 4,000 last week. The 4-week average of claims dropped by nearly 7,300 to 278,000, also a pandemic low. Altogether, 2.2 million Americans were collecting traditional unemployment benefits the week that ended October 30th.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. He's taken the stand. Kyle Rittenhouse now testifying in his own defense in Kenosha County Circuit Court. Rittenhouse standing trial in the shootings of 3 people, 2 of whom died during last year's rioting in the streets of Kenosha, Wisconsin. And Rittenhouse argues that he acted in self-defense. On Wall Street this morning, stocks in the red. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 28 points. The NASDAQ is off 62, and the S&P trading 5 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Why are cash-out refinances such a big deal right now? Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them the cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Germany is dealing with an aggressive fourth wave of COVID-19. The BBC's Jenny Hill in Berlin.
Alarm bells have been ringing for days now as case numbers soar. Nearly 40,000 new infections were reported in the last 24 hours, a record high for Germany. Hospitals in some parts of the country report that they're getting close to capacity. And today, one of Germany's most well-known virologists issued a grim warning. Christian Drosten said that if nothing was done to mitigate the fourth wave, a further 100,000 people could die. Germany's health minister has blamed those who are not yet vaccinated for the current surge in cases. 16 million people over the age of 12 aren't immunized.
The World Health Organization reports coronavirus deaths rose by 10% in Europe in the past week, making it the only world region where both COVID-19 cases and deaths are steadily increasing. News and analysis at townhall.com. Couple of recounts appear likely in tight Virginia House races.
Days after Democrats conceded control of the Virginia House of Delegates to Republicans, they walked back that concession as two key races in which the GOP hold razor-thin leads appeared headed for recounts. As of Tuesday, vote counts show Republicans with 50 seats and holding slight leads in two additional seats that have still not been called by the media. Democrats have 47 seats and are leading in one other district that has not been called. In both districts where Republicans are leading, the margin is under 0.5%, which allows candidates to request state-funded recounts. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
Britain's Prince Harry sharply attacking the failure of social media companies to challenge hate online, revealing that he warned Twitter's chief executive ahead of the U.S. Capitol riot that the site was being used to foment political unrest. And on Wall Street, the Dow down 34 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Today's KSVIPs, the Artesia High School faculty and staff. The Artesia High School administration would like to thank you for all of your hard work and the dedication that you show in and out of the classroom. Thank you, and we appreciate you. Today, we're going to bring a flower that you can all share to the Artesia High School from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIPs, the faculty and staff at Artesia High School.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters, but so far they all think I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Really, really white and first in my class there at MIT. Got skills, I'm a champion of D&D.
Hey, welcome back to the Good Morning Artesia radio show. It is the 9 o'clock hour, and we'll be chatting with Aaron Irving here a little bit later on. See how the markets are doing. We're going to take a look at the football brackets. I've got the football brackets pulled up here on the computer, so we'll talk a little bit about that. I was laughing. YouTube is pretty smart. Algorithms kind of figure stuff that you might like and enjoy and get a kick out of. And this popped up on my news feed. This is the Spotsylvania, Virginia School Board meeting from October 16th of this year. So Spotsylvania, Virginia School Board meeting, October 16th. Take a listen to this.
Next speaker.
Lapp, Miss Lapp, followed by Rusty Miller, and Let's Go Brandon.
Okay, those people are not here, Dr. Martin. Are there other names?
Is that...
Next speaker.
Lapp.
This is funny.
Miss Lapp, followed by Rusty Miller, and let's go Brandon.
So that's the Spotsylvania County School Board meeting. So, oh, there's a bunch of that happening all over the place nowadays. I thought that was kind of funny. And now, I was watching a clip from the may have been the 5 or may have been the Gutfeld show, but they apparently there are some liberals and Democrats across the country that are so upset at the popularity of the "Let's Go Brandon" phrase and how it's being used and what's happening with it, that they're wanting to call it hate speech or a threat of violence. And it really shows how some folks out there do not understand the First Amendment and free speech. They just don't get it. They just don't understand it. Me saying on the radio, "Let's go Brandon," as an expression of displeasure over an elected person is my right as a citizen of the United States of America to use my free speech. You may not like it that I use it. You may be a big Biden fan, but the fact that I don't like Biden and I kind of get a chuckle out of saying "Let's go Brandon" is my right to do that. There's another doctor that I watch. I've watched some of his videos. You may want to pull him up on the YouTubes too, and I'm surprised he's still there. His name is Dr. John Campbell, and I need to do a little bit of more research as to where his doctorate comes from. Is he a medical doctor or is he a doctor of letters? But he had a piece that he posted this week. Pfizer is developing a pill that you can take that helps people get over COVID infection, a COVID infection. If you get a COVID SARS-2 infection, you take this pill, and this pill it chemically prevents the COVID virus cells from infecting other cells and whatever, and so then your body, so they die out, and your body's immune system is able then to handle the COVID cells, and you get over it. You don't wind up in the hospital, and you certainly don't die. And it was an interesting video because he did a comparison to this new drug, this new that Pfizer is developing, and he compared it to ivermectin. And it's really an interesting video because he has papers from qualified entities that describe the processes that are involved in the Pfizer drug, and he compares it to the process of what ivermectin does. And it's really an intriguing video. If your goal is to go out there and get as much knowledge as possible so that you can make informed decisions about things before you just do what Don Lemon tells you to do, it's an interesting video to watch because, and he's talked about the efficacy of the vaccines. He apparently suggests people should get the vaccine, but he also talks about the new Pfizer drug that's being developed, that Pfizer has come up with a new chemical, or new compound, or whatever, new basic cell, basic design. And so it's different from the ivermectin, but what it does is basically the same thing as ivermectin does. And he challenges the world's medical profession. At the end of this video clip, he says, stop. You're not a cow. You're not a horse. You're a human. Use your human intellect, and let's start doing what we need to do to take care of the millions of sick people across the planet. And I gathered, I've watched the video a couple of times now, and I gather what he's saying is, don't be quick to poo-poo the possible benefits of ivermectin when it comes to a doctor prescribing it to treat someone who has a COVID infection. When the Pfizer drug that they're developing is, in essence, using the same biochemical process that ivermectin does when it comes to trying to help somebody who has a COVID infection. It's all interesting stuff. I mean, there is interesting stuff you can find out there if you will look and take the time to watch some videos. But his name is Dr. John Campbell, and he's got 1 million followers on YouTube. And he does every day or so, he comes out with a 15 to 20 minute video presentation where he talks about medical news of the day, and he has the papers to back it up, or at least that's what he claims. And it sounds like a reasonable thing to consider when you're doing your research on the internet on all the stuff that is going on out there that we need to deal with here in the world. Hey, what kind of weather are we going to be dealing with today? I hear it's going to be a little windy today, Steve-O.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty today with a cold front dropping through eastern New Mexico. We could get a few gusts to around 35 miles per hour, but it should be sunny. Our afternoon high in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight, the wind will calm down a little bit. Lows near 40 and clear. And then Veterans Day looks mostly sunny with our afternoon high staying near 70. A little cooler on Friday, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Sunny skies, 69 degrees, the temperature in Artesia. We've been warming up nicely. Our humidity is at 21%. The dew point is 27 degrees right now. Our winds are west-northwest at 11 miles per hour. Pressure at 29.91. And holding steady. The air quality index is 23. We have good air quality. We had a high yesterday of 81, and we had a low overnight of 40. The minimum 4-inch soil temperatures are 55 degrees. 1 year ago, we had a high of 77 and a low of 31. Sunset will be at 4:59 this afternoon. Sunrise will be at 6:24 in the morning. And the winds are going to kick up around noon today and settle down about sunset. So it'll be a breezy afternoon here this afternoon. Around the region, sunny and 66 in Carlsbad, 71 in Roswell, 65 and sunny in Hobbs, sunny and 55 in Albuquerque, 47 in Santa Fe, 43 in Cloudcroft, 53 in Ruidoso, 58 in Las Cruces, mostly sunny, 46 in Farmington, sunny and 41 in Red River, and Clovis checking in with sunny skies and 61, and in Lubbock, Texas, sunny skies and 66, and again here in Artesia, we've got sunshine and 70 degrees.
Next speaker.
Lapp, Miss Lapp, followed by Rusty Miller, and Let's Go Brandon.
Even he's laughing.
Let's go, Brandon!
Even he's laughing. Oh, we're going to have some fun with that. Let's see now. Looking at the football brackets, the 5A football bracket. As you know, the not the play-in games, first-round games were played this past weekend, the round of 12, and Santa Teresa beat Piedra Vista. That was a 8 beating a 9, 21-0. So Santa Teresa is traveling up to Farmington, and they're going to play that game Friday night at 7 o'clock at Farmington. That's an 8 at a 1, and that is the first game in the bracket. Mayfield, as we all know, defeated Los Alamos 49-3. So that was a 5 over a 12, and Mayfield, the 5, comes to Artesia, the 4. And that game will be Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the world-famous Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, New Mexico. I wonder if they call it world-famous Bulldog Bowl. Let me click on details. Does it say world-famous Bulldog Bowl? What does it say? Mayfield, Artesia, game details at Artesia. Well, there is no proper identification of the stadium where the game is being played. Sorry. All right, Roswell got the bye. They were the 3 seed, and they get to play Goddard. Goddard beat Valley out of Albuquerque 56-14, and that one will be Friday night at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, New Mexico. Goddard will be the visiting team this time, so they will occupy the east side bleachers. And the Roswell High Coyotes will be the home team and will occupy the west side bleachers at the Wool Bowl. And that'll be at 7 o'clock on Friday night. And then the last game that'll be played this weekend will be Belen and Los Lunas. Belen beat Deming 25-21 this past weekend. That was a 7-10. And so the 7 seed advances. Los Lunas, the number 2 seed, and that will be at Los Lunas, and that'll be a Saturday game at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So 2 of the quarterfinal games are Friday night, and 2 of the quarterfinal games are Saturday afternoon. As far as our coverage is concerned, we will be at Artesia, and we will be at the Wool Bowl. We will have radio announcers and TV cameras. So if you are not able to go to the game, or you have a challenge in trying to figure out how to buy the ticket online and you just don't want to mess with it, you can listen to the game on the radio and watch the game on our TV channel. So the Goddard-Roswell game is actually going to be on 2 stations because we cover both Goddard and Roswell. So if you want to hear Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald, our Roswell High announcers, then you would go to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. If you want to hear Chris Deck and Chris Roybal, the Goddard announcers, you would go to 106.1 FM Fierro. And if you go to KSVPTV.com and click on the Goddard channel, you're going to see the same video feed. We do a pool video. You're going to see the same video feed, but you're going to hear Chris and Chris. If you go to KSVPTV.com and click on the Coyote, you'll see the same video presentation, but you will hear Art and Kelly. And we'll have that on our Facebook page. We'll have that on our YouTube channel. They should be identified as Goddard announcers, Artesia announcers. So hopefully you can figure out which one you want to listen to depending on where you lean on that. As far as Saturday is concerned, Joby and Robbie will be doing the play-by-play. It'll be here on 990 AM and 93.7 FM. And it will also be on KSVPTV.com on the Bulldog channel. Click on the Bulldog. You'll see the countdown there now. And that game we'll start with the Faith Baptist Church Sideline Show at 12 noon. The pregame show starts at 12:30. And the kickoff is set for 1 o'clock from world-famous Bulldog Bowl. Now, looking ahead, if I remember my notes, Artesia, if they are successful against Mayfield and beat the Mayfield Trojans and advance to the semifinal game next weekend, they would play either Farmington or Santa Teresa. In the case of those 2 teams, they both would come to Artesia. Farmington actually owes Artesia. There's no semifinal or final history with Santa Teresa, so that case then it defaults to the higher seed, and Artesia being the 4 would be the higher seed over the 8 of Santa Teresa. So again, the Bulldogs need to take care of business Saturday. They need to beat Mayfield. We're not looking past, but we are because we have to plan things. So if it is Farmington or Santa Teresa, that semifinal game would be at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. On the other side of the bracket, Roswell beats Goddard. Roswell, I think Roswell, Los Lunas, I got this backwards. One of them owes Los Lunas and one of them Los Lunas owes. And so I think it's Roswell would be in, well, I don't have my notes in front of me, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay. Berlin, I'm not sure if there's a prior history between the schools. It's in the next room. I'll go get it in the next room. We'll dig it out. But yeah, I was telling Tanner about that because he has to plan for possibly having a video crew next weekend. And I said, well, if Roswell wins, the game is here. Anyway, I'll get the notes. But on a state championship possibility, if Artesia makes it to the state championship game, if it's Roswell High, the game would be at the Bulldog Bowl. If it's anybody other than Roswell High, the Bulldogs would travel. So they would either go to Goddard, go to Los Lunas, or go to Berlin. So that's my understanding on the bracket possibilities the rest of the way. So, but it's fun to speculate. It's fun to consider. But obviously, the big game is the game on Saturday afternoon at the Bulldog Bowl against the Mayfield Trojans. And my understanding of the history is that we've played them one other time, not in the playoffs, but in a regular season game. And according to the gentleman who was the coach of the Artesia Bulldogs when the Bulldogs played the Mayfield Trojans, golly, I'm trying to get rid of this ad blocker message on Max Preps. They're getting worse and worse now. Here we go. I got rid of it. Okay. We beat Mayfield the time we played them before at the Bulldog Bowl. Volleyball last night, the play-in matches took place, and Artesia beat St. Pius 3-2. St. Pius won the first set 25-21. Artesia won the next two 25-22 and 25-20. Pius came out and dominated in set 4 25-14, and then Artesia eked out a 17-15 win over St. Pius in the fifth set. Pius was actually up 14-13, so they were at match point, and Artesia tied it, and then they went back to 15. They tied at 15, and then Artesia was able to get the 2 points to go up 16-15, and then the match point 17-15. The other matches were not quite as exciting, I guess. Portales needed 4 sets, but beat Albuquerque Academy 3-1. Pewaukee Valley swept Kirtland Central 3-0, and then Santa Teresa looked like they were going to sweep Moriarty. They won 25-20 and 25-21. Moriarty won the third set 25-14, and then Santa Teresa came back to win the fourth set 25-20. So for the volleyball tournament, which now has some double elimination components, number 1 Hope Christian will play Portales. Number 4 Gallup will play number 5 Pewaukee Valley. Number 3 Los Alamos will play number 6 Santa Teresa, and number 2 Goddard will play number 7 Artesia. Now, these games are all at the Rio Rancho Event Center. You may have remembered it as the Santa Ana Star Center, but I guess they didn't re-up their sponsorship. So it's now the Rio Rancho Event Center. Same place, but it's the big barn in Rio Rancho. And the first round games are at 10 a.m. on Friday morning. Joby Hodling will be there. You'll be able to listen here on KSVP to the Artesia Goddard match, but that will be on the radio only. We do not have the authority to do video from the Rio Rancho Event Center, so it'll be a radio broadcast at 10 a.m. on Friday. Now, should the Lady Bulldogs win, they would play the winner of the Los Alamos Santa Teresa match at 6 p.m. on Friday. If the Lady Bulldogs lose, then they would play at 2 p.m. against the loser of the Los Alamos Santa Teresa game. If they lose the 2 o'clock game on Friday, then they're done. But if they win the 2 o'clock game on Friday, then they would play Saturday morning at 8 a.m., and they would play the loser of the 6 p.m. quarterfinal game from the night before from the bracket that has Hope Christian, Portales, Gallup, and Milwaukee Valley. And then if they win that match at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, then they would play in a semifinal match at noon on Saturday. And if they win that, then they would play in the state championship game at 4 p.m. From the Rio Rancho Events Center. So it's double elimination for the first round and the quarterfinal round. Then the semis and the championship go back to single elimination to get to the championship game. So there's a look at your tournament, volleyball and football tournament of tournaments that's going on this weekend. And again, if you want to go to the Rio Rancho Event Center to watch volleyball, if you want to go to the Bulldog Bowl to watch the Mayfield Bulldog football game, you have to get your ticket online. You go to gofan.co. You can get the GoFan app for your iPhone. You cannot get a GoFan app for your Android phone. You'll just have to go to a web browser like Google or Firefox. You will have to have whatever mobile device that you use to make the purchase. You'll have to have it set up to where it can use a debit or a credit card to make a purchase online. And then that device that you make the purchase with, you have to bring with you to the Rio Rancho Event Center or to the Bulldog Bowl on Saturday and present that device that you made the purchase with your ticket information there at the gate. And there will be folks to help you navigate through that if you need assistance with that today and tomorrow at the Bulldog Pit ticket office from 1 to 4. So bring the phone with you that you're going to use and bring your credit card info if you need to get set up to do online purchases. And go to the Bulldog Pit office between 1 and 4, and there'll be people there to help you get that set up so you can buy your tickets online for this weekend's volleyball in Rio Rancho and the football game in Artesia. All right, let's take a quick break, open up the Zoom room, see what Aaron's got on his mind as we come back next on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Your pet is an important member of your family. That's why at Artesia Animal Clinic, we strive to provide complete care for your pet. Our services include dental, lab, preventative medicine, surgery, and ultrasound, along with herd health for our livestock friends. We also know how busy you are, so we'll do our best to accommodate your schedule. Meet our doctors and staff by visiting artesiaanimalclinic.com or just drop by our clinic at 110 West Mahone, across from the Artesia Ford Service Center. Artesia Animal Clinic, serving the needs of your pets and livestock 24/7, 365 days a year.
Looking for a hot cup of coffee and a breakfast burrito to start the day? Brewer's got it. What about a midday snack or a pick-me-up? Brewer's got it. Dinner for the family after a long day? Brewer has what you need. Brewer's grill locations have extended hours, serving up all your favorites and brand new cravables, like their mushroom Swiss burger, their bacon and green chili chicken sandwich, and more. Find your nearest brewer online, then call ahead for super quick pickup. Fuel your smile at a locally owned brewer near you. Whatever you need. Brewer's got it. Pecos River Oilfield Services, LLC, a leader in the industry, is currently hiring full-time general laborers and Class A CDL truck drivers. Come work for the pros now. Pecos River Oilfield Services offers competitive wages, vacation and holiday pay, and the chance to work for an industry leader. If you or someone you know is a perfect match for this opportunity, apply in person at 189 South Donaldson Farm Road in Loving and join the pros team at Pecos River Oilfield Services, LLC. Pecos River Oilfield Services, LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455.
Trucks, and more trucks. Carlsbad Ford is truck country with over 50 vehicles on the lot and more on the way. Brand new model year Raptors and F-150s, diesels, Super Crew cabs, and an exceptional selection of pre-owned. Silverado, Tundra, Tacoma, Frontier, and more. Nobody has more trucks than Carlsbad Ford. Free oil changes for a year with your vehicle. Paying top dollar for your trade, and of course, the home of the no commission sales zone. Your next truck awaits you at Carlsbad Ford.
Next speaker.
Miss Lapp, followed by Rusty Miller, and Let's Go Brandon.
I love it.
I think that's pretty funny. I told the superintendent and I told the mayor, I said, if you ever get to a point in a meeting where you're going to introduce a speaker and you see the name Lesko Brandon, be wary.
I guess that's better than Seymour, right?
Well, I think that's where the clip came up, because that was Bart Simpson would always play that joke on Joe at Joe's Bar. You remember?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, paging Seymour Butts. And then Tana was telling me that apparently people are doing this, like when they go to Walmart and you go and you ask for an announcement to be made, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently some of those are happening now.
All right. Let's go Brandon to aisle 5. Let's go Brandon. Let's Go's going to be a popular name, huh?
Well, on your video wall today, it looks like you have a tribute to Vietnam vets.
Well, it's I picked gifts from several of the different wars, starting World War I, then got a couple in World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, Afghanistan, and Iraq. So. Okay. Well, tomorrow is Veterans Day, so yeah, it'd be a good time to honor a veteran that you know. And even if you don't know them, if they're a veteran, let them know. Yes,
you know,
honor them anyway.
Honor them anyway. I've seen a couple people on YouTube, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't have wearing poppies. And
oh yeah,
that used to be a little fundraiser for the American Legion, I think. They would have
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be out at the post office and places around town. You could make a donation and get a poppy and wear the poppy in honor of the veterans. And if anybody's doing that around here, please let me know, because A, I would like to buy a poppy to wear tomorrow. And B, I'd just like to let people know if there's somebody out there that's doing that, so that folks
can share that information for sure.
Yeah, you guys are having a parade down in Carlsbad tomorrow, I guess.
Yes. Should be a good parade. I'll be in Artesia, but
That's right. Well, I'll after the show here, I've got to run over to the park, because we usually stream the Veterans Day program that we do in Artesia, and so I've got to figure out how to get that set up, since all my people moved away and there's nobody to help me. So I'm pretty good at figuring things out to do them on my own, but sometimes you do need help.
Yes, for sure.
And, so that's what's going on tomorrow. And you probably know Mark Schinnerer.
Yes,
he's the speaker at our Veterans Day program tomorrow.
Oh, okay, very good. Good.
So you'll have to let me know what I need to say about Mark when I introduce him.
Make him sing a song. Very good singer.
Ah, I didn't know if I should tell people that he chews gum backwards.
He several years ago he did sang the Rock of Ages on the Carlsbad Caverns Lantern Tour.
Oh wow!
And so they walk you down there, and they have just lanterns that you carry, and then at the end you turn off your lantern, and then he sings Rock of Ages, and it's really cool.
Oh wow!
It's been several years since he's done that, but it was really neat.
Okay, so he's a good singer, huh?
Very good singer. He's our song leader at church too. So.
Okay. Well, he is going to be the guest speaker at the Veterans Day program in Artesia tomorrow, so we're looking forward to hearing what he has to say. And we've got a group of, I think it's the third graders.
Very good.
Let me look at my program here. It's the third grade choir, which is basically the third graders, all the third graders from Artesia. So they all come down, all the third graders, and they get on the risers and they sing some patriotic songs. And so, yeah, it's
cool.
Every year we've had it at the park except for 2. Last year, of course, COVID.
Right.
And the year before that, it was just really, really, really awful weather, and it got moved into the Red Brick Gym at the last minute. So, but other than those 2 instances, it's been in the park, and a lot of folks. We encourage folks to come out and thank vets and enjoy the program. So,
cool. Very good.
Good deal. What do you have for us? You have any Let's Go Brandon sightings or?
Well, I don't, but I do have. I've got a couple of idiot jokes that are carryovers from yesterday.
Okay.
All right. A pessimist sees a dark tunnel. An optimist sees a light at the end of the tunnel. A realist sees a freight train. And the train engineer sees 3 idiots standing on the tracks. Then my next one, this is my next and my last. I don't have a whole lot today, but we're aware of the problems in Santa Fe, and I think it comes down to 2 major problems in Santa Fe.
Okay.
One, bad roads. Roads are hard there, too narrow and everything like that. And then the other one is idiots. But one of those problems could be solved with a steamroller, but I'm still not sure how to fix the roads.
Yeah, because you got right-of-way issues, and it's narrow streets, and historic area. You just can't go in and bulldoze open the roads.
So let's just solve the idiot problem, and then we'll just keep the roads the way they are.
I think the idiot problem would go a long way towards solving a lot of people's problems in this state.
Yes.
I'm on a serious note. Tomorrow is the Zoom call. Not tomorrow, Friday. Friday is the Zoom call with the Public Education Department, where they are considering 2 important things. The social studies revisions, which most people that have read it say this is the beginnings of critical race theory being injected into our education process in New Mexico. And then the second is a hearing to determine just to what extent does the Public Education Department have when it comes to the authority that it has to remove duly elected school board members from that. And both of those topics are what the Public Education Department people are going to hear public comments on tomorrow. And
what do you bet they have technical difficulties?
Oh, my gosh. The first thing that told me that they were going to mess over the public was when they said it's going to be Zoom only.
Yeah.
They just mute. they could have had this in a convention center. They could have had it. They could have had it at the Santa Fe Opera if they wanted to have it in an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
Where they could have allowed people to come in and people to be able to stand in front of a microphone and passionately express themselves on these issues for this education department to consider. If people don't, regardless of what happens, and I hope they listen to the people, Aaron, we got to fix the way education is structured in the state. We got to get rid of the Public Education Department. We got to go back to a duly elected school board that primarily functions on the issues of financial redistribution of the wealth in New Mexico so that the wealthy districts contribute into a fund supported by the legislature and the permanent fund to make sure the poorer districts have all the resources they need for all the kids, and then let the local school boards run the local school districts.
Yeah, let them have the authority to do something other than hiring and firing superintendents. That seems to be the only power they have anymore.
Yes. And we're going to have to turn the legislature, folks. You're going to have to convince your friends up north. You're going to have to convince people in those parts of the state to run, who are going to run on parents first platform, and we're going to have to cause a sea change in the leadership in this state before anything can truly be done about it.
Yeah, I think we're really going to need a lot of hard work from a lot of sane people in this state next year, January all the way up to the election, because if we don't do anything, we're going to continue to get what we've always got. We've got our good legislators down here, but they are overwhelmed by majorities up north, and it's going to take some work. It's probably going to take some money and things like that as well, but got to open some eyes up there and get people that are not even voting that and to actually take the time to vote and get them to be informed, open the eyes of the people that are just voting for the Democrats all the time because that's what their parents did.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take some work, but we can do it.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do New Mexico if we have that. So.
I know, but it's got to be done, folks, because we can't do it this way much longer. It's going to destroy the future potential of the state. And I hate to be just on a serious note, but I mean, that's how critical, you want to talk about critical theory.
Yeah.
That's how critical
freedom theory.
Critical freedom theory, CFT. We need to be teaching that in school. Critical freedom theory. I like that, Aaron. You've coined another great phrase. But I mean, that's how serious it is. And you can elect a Republican governor. I mean, say Ron Ketty or Zanetti or any of these T's. Zanetti, Ronchetti, Scabetti. Say any of these guys get elected to governor, that's fine, and they can neuter the education department, that's fine. But the next governor that comes in from the other party is just going to sweep all this stuff back in, and so you've got
real change will not happen without the legislature control changing. Those people they're getting paid very well by the people that they're doing the bidding for, and so they're not going to change unless they're changed. And we saw it in New Jersey with that truck driver that beat out the president of the Senate for like 20 years.
Yep.
If it can happen there, it can definitely happen here.
I hope he's still around. I hope the truck driver hasn't found his brakes cut or tires flattened, because that guy that he's running against claims that they found 12,000 votes. I don't know what the latest is on that, but typical political maneuvering. Oh, look, we've just found 12,000 votes.
Yeah, it just happened to be in my basement.
No, you didn't. Didn't. Anyway, it's just now.
Yeah, that's why election day, you need to count the votes. They need to be done at the end of that day. Nobody leaves to leave until they're done, and then it's done. You don't wait till Friday after, and then if you can't mail the envelope 2 days before, then you don't need to vote.
They used to tell you things must be postmarked by however many days ahead of time, so that you had enough time for the Postal Service to get it delivered on time. Yeah. Now we're saying, no, they just have to be postmarked by Election Day. No. Right. What idiot would do that? Because anybody could sit there and dump into a mailbox however many ballots they think they need to see if they see the trends going against them on Election Day.
Yeah, they just watch and then make the adjustments as needed. You don't have to just guess. It's common sense to those that care.
That's right. All right. Well, let's get into our market update and bring us up to speed on that, Aaron.
All right. This is Aaron Irving with LPL Financial, member of FINRA and the SIPC, bringing you your mid-morning stock market report for Wednesday, November the 10th. Stocks were mostly flat today, with the major averages well within striking distance of their records, as investors shrugged off the latest consumer price reading, showing the biggest jump in inflation in more than 30 years. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was slightly lower, while the S&P 500 is down 0.1%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ was down 0.3%. The Consumer Price Index jumped 6.2% from a year ago, which was well above the 5.9% estimate from economists polled by Dow Jones, and also the largest annual increase since 1990. On a monthly basis, the CPI increased 0.9% against a 0.6% estimate. The CPI is a basket of products ranging from gasoline and healthcare to groceries and rent. Following the CPI data, traders moved up their expectations for when the first Fed rate hike would occur. The Fed funds futures market now sees greater odds of the central bank's first full rate hike coming in July of 2022. The 10-year Treasury yield climbed after the CPI report. Tech stocks moved lower, with AMD pulling back more than 2%. Google parent Alphabet and NVIDIA each dipped more than 1%. Tesla, the leader of the bull market, whose shares have come under pressure recently, added more than 4% to cut its losses for the week to 12%. The stock is one of the top gainers on the S&P 500 today. Electric vehicle makers are in focus today, with Amazon-backed EV startup Rivian set to go public. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is currently down 35 points to 36,284. The S&P 500 is 8 points lower at 4,677, and the NASDAQ Composite is off by 87 points to 15,798. West Texas Intermediate crude is down $1.67 per barrel to $82.48. Stocks of local interest. HollyFrontier Corporation is unchanged at $33.96 a share. Walmart is down 47 cents to $149.32 a share. Xcel Energy is up 31 cents a share to $63.91. And Duke Energy is 80 cents higher at $101.77 a share. This is Aaron Irving with Oakley & Irving Wealth Management, serving business owners and energy industry professionals in the Pecos Valley and beyond. You can find us at oiwealth.com, or at our offices in Artesia and Carlsbad. You can call us at 575-887-7075. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA, and the SIPC.
By the way, I am told that Mark is going to talk on the history of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, cool. Very good.
So I think he did a series on that once back in the day.
Possibly.
I think he did. So excellent. Looking forward to it. And Aaron, you have a wonderful day today.
All right. You do the same.
We're going to take a break and see if we can find some more Let's Go Brandon stuff. That's coming up next.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Carlsbad is out with data from the summertime showing 2,557 people visited the water park on Memorial Day weekend alone. In the month of June, more than 13,700 people visited the water park. And that would have been even more if it weren't for storms that closed the park at the end of June. No matter, the numbers were a welcome rebound after a tough 2020 that saw the park remain closed due to the pandemic. 2 energy companies are helping to form a new emergency response initiative that will include units from Eddy County. Chevron North America and Cimarex Energy are forming the Delaware Basin Emergency Response Team. Members of the team would be called out to help with major emergencies throughout eastern New Mexico and West Texas. Chevron recently presented Eddy County a $65,000 check for its emergency management office. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Need to ship a package? Choose UPS. Need to ship a package UPS from Artesia? Bring your package to Brown Drug. Brown Drug wants to be your UPS shipping center in Artesia. Use Brown Drug as your UPS shipping center and we'll reward you by shipping your 11th package 5 pounds or less for free. If you want to make sure your package arrives on time, use UPS. The easy and convenient place to ship UPS in Artesia is Brown Drug at the corner of 4th and Washington.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The White House admits they are pressuring OPEC to increase production. Now, if this is all about climate, one has to ask the next logical question. What difference is it if you extract the oil from the Middle East for the planet, for the impact on the planet, or you extract it from the United States, except that the average American is now going to have cheap energy again? Now we have a 7-year high in terms of gas prices, and that means that the poor and the middle class that Democrats claim to have this great monopoly of compassion for, they are the ones that disproportionately are impacted and suffering the most. There are estimates now that people might pay anywhere between $500 and $1,000 more this winter just to heat their homes.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, I've got good news today for parents that want to homeschool their children. Look, by now you've already heard about the Acellus learning system. It's now in use by 6,700 schools all over the country. And this year with the pandemic, Acellus, they've become the go-to solution for schooling students at home. Now, the good news today is more and more school districts, they are stepping in to pick up the cost of providing high-quality Acellus lessons to students studying at home. The program is called Cyber School, and the students study at home, and the local school district picks up the cost of the tuition. Now, check to see if your district is participating in cyberschool.com. This is an opportunity to have Acellus best homeschool solution for your kids at no cost to you, the parents. That's cyberschool.com. Now, Acellus really works as a homeschool solution. Students can move at their own pace. Over 400 courses to choose from. It's a game changer that people have been looking for. Cyberschool.com. That's cyberschool.com.
The Mark Adams era began last night with a win in front of a nearly sold-out United Supermarkets arena. The head coach reacts to it next on the Red Raider Daily Update.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants you to experience Texas Tech Red Raider basketball VIP style. Catch your Red Raiders courtside with a friend by registering to win at RedRaidersContest.com. Opportunities to win include Texas on February 1st, TCU on February 12th, and Baylor on February 16th. Winner to receive 2 courtside seats to the game. Register for a chance to win at RedRaidersContest.com and be a VIP thanks to Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
How did all that Fibermex cotton grow so strong? Well, it's been a season sleeping on a bed of rocks, breathing dust and sucking wind. It hung out in blistering heat while fighting off posses of vicious pests and diseases. Yes, sir. That bounty of cotton grew so strong by being just as tough as you are. Fibermex cotton from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Red Raider basketball is 1-0 on the season after an 89-74 victory over North Florida. Head coach Mark Adams on what he liked and where the team needs to improve.
Well, that's always desires and preference of any head coach. You want to get off to a good start on both halves especially, and we built a good lead. But, you know, just with our guys not playing with each other as well, we had a little bit of a setback, but I thought we responded well. Our offense overall was outstanding. We looked at the stats. We shared the ball well, a lot of unselfish play. It was disappointing our defense, but honestly, we spent a lot more time on the offensive end these last 2 or 3 months trying to get these guys to fit together than we have defensively. So a lot of work to do on that end, on the defensive side.
Bryson Williams led the Red Raiders with 22 points. Tech will next take on Grambling State Friday at the USA at 7 p.m.
All right, Texas Tech. And what they've got going on. Let's see, do they play Saturday? They do. The football team does. They take on Iowa State. 12:30 pregame, 1:30 kick, and that's going to be on 92.9 The Brand on Saturday afternoon. So if there's just not enough football for you, we'll have Bulldog football versus Mayfield on KSVP and KSVPTV.com. We'll have NMMI Bronco football on KSVPTV.com. And we'll have Texas Tech Red Raider football here on 92.9 The Brand Saturday afternoon. We'll have ENMU Greyhound football, their last game of the season, taking on Texas A&M University Saturday afternoon. So we got a lot going on Saturday. We're going to wrap up the show right after these good words.
The Bulldogs are back on the hunt for the NMAA 4A state championship. And this Saturday afternoon, your number 4 ranked Bulldogs are back home at the Bulldog Bowl, taking on the 5-seed Trojans of Mayfield High. KSVP AM and FM and KSVPTV.com are your home for all the action. Join Joby Hodling and Robbie Ballou for the Faith Baptist Church sideline show at noon and kickoff at 1. Bulldogs versus the Mayfield Trojans. This Saturday starting at noon on KSVP AM and FM and online at KSVPTV.com.
Is this what you're thinking right now?
Wow, the holidays are almost here. And then, of course, here come the bills. But we really need a new family vehicle now. What am I going to do?
Don't fret. It's a great time to buy at Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. We have options to suit all your vehicle needs, like 0% GM financing for up to 72 months, plus $500 in Chevy Cyber Cash. Don't worry about the influx of bills come January. Qualified buyers can defer payments for 120 days. That's right, no payments until February. Come visit with our professional sales team for eligible models and the very best in customer service today at Guy Chevrolet Company on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia or GuyChevy.com.
Offer ends November 30, 2021. Must qualify for financing with GM Financial. See dealership for details.
Wait for it. It's coming. Spring River Park and Zoo present Race for the Zoo 2021. Saturday, November 13th, beginning at 9 a.m. It's a 5K with a 2-mile option. And you can run, walk, crawl, scuttle, whatever. With t-shirts for all races and awards and trophies for the fastest finishers. Proceeds go towards keeping our furry and feathered friends cared for. For more information, contact the Roswell Parks and Recreation Department at 575-624-6719. And register online at roswellconnect.com. Race for the Zoo 2021, November 13th, 9 a.m. at Spring River Zoo.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Your laundry is dingy. Your hair is a fright. Your dishes are slutty. Nothing seems right. Call Artesia Soft Water, baby. 575-746-3822. Or stop by 1405 West Main.
Those are funny. Oh, hope you have a wonderful day today.
Next speaker.
Lapp, Miss Lapp, followed by Rusty Miller, and Let's Go Brandon.
So all right, we're having some fun with all that. You have some fun with all that. Great shows coming up today with Clay and Buck and Sean and Mark. And we'll be back here with you in the morning at 7 a.m. to get you through Veterans Day. And then, of course, the Veterans Day program, which will be on Bash Veterans Park at 11 o'clock tomorrow. This is KSVP Artesia, K229AS Artesia. It's 10 o'clock.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. U.S. food banks, already dealing with increased demand from families sidelined by the pandemic, are now facing a new challenge: surging food prices and supply chain issues that are